Yeah, got another show today. We going to talk about something different. I know it's y'all gonna be like, man, y'all know y'all gonna feel strange me not talking about Undisputed. I know y'all gonna feel strange with me not talking about Undisputed. And to me, when I be talking, I feel like I'm not focused on Undisputed. I'm just talking about the games in general. It's just that Undisputed happens to be the game that's out now to make my opinion valid, if that's the way you want to use it. Um, Let me see what's going on with YouTube, and then I'll get the show started. All right, good. What's up, Boxing Lounge? Boxing_lounge. Appreciate you coming through. You've been here every day. Appreciate you. Um, I'm gonna wait a couple of seconds and get some people in here. What's going Aram, I think Aram's supposed to join me at some point. We're gonna build on with overhand boxing. I'm gonna start that conversation before he get here because I don't know what time he's getting here. I'm gonna wait till the 3 minute mark and then I'm gonna start the show. Let me see. We're about to hit that 3 minute mark. 3 minutes. All right. We have to get the show started. Um, Matter of fact, let me send a Twitter. Let people on Twitter know. Salute Legendary Boxing 2026. Appreciate you coming through. You've been here, I think, 3 days in a row, 3 or 4 days in a row. Appreciate you. Let me let Twitter know that I'm live. We are live. Let Twitter know. Wow. I gotta be careful with Twitter because Twitter got me posting from my YouTube to Twitter, it double posts. So that got my other account banned, and I'm mad because I had a lot of followers on that account. I had a lot of followers, so now I got to build my fan base back up. on my Twitter account, my original Twitter account. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to get my account back, but knowing Twitter, they're not gonna give it back because they're trying to be slick. They want me to do a subscription to get it back, probably. All right. I'm gonna start, and hopefully Aaron come in to help fill in the blanks. Overhand Interactive, the silence, the questions, and the reality. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 223. Today we are talking about something that has been quietly sitting in the background, but at the same time building curiosity, whether people want to admit it or not. Overhand Interactive. Yeah, the silence. Let's be honest right away. This is not one of those situations where a studio is constantly feeding updates, gameplay clips, or developer diaries. This is the opposite. Long stretches of nothing. No name for the game, no deep dives, no consistency, no consistent communication, just presence. But for a lot of people, that creates frustration. But I'm going to approach this a little differently today. I'm not going to attack them. A lot of y'all want to attack them. I'm not going to attack them. The silence. The silence is real. There's no way around it. We don't know the official game title. We don't know the name of the game. We just know the name of the guys, the company, the company that they're calling it. The gameplay seems, we don't know the gameplay systems, the depth of mechanics, the AI philosophy, the career mode structure, the online infrastructure. We only know a little bit about the gameplay systems, and that's it. The AI look like it could be good, but we don't know. See, we don't really know that much about this game. We just know we want it to succeed from the visuals. From the visuals. We don't even fully know what kind of boxing experience they are trying to deliver. And I know it's a Muay Thai game. I know it's a Muay Thai game, but it's going to have boxing in it. Me, I feel funny, like really supporting this game. I know if you're an MMA fan or something like that, y'all would say, well, why would you feel funny? Because I don't want to support something that has the potential of taking pressure off of another company making a great boxing game. I want Steel City to have as much competition as possible. I want EA to have as much competition as possible. So that's why I feel the way I want. I want a boxing game. I don't want no MMA game. But I'm not that type of person to go against, hey, if I can't get what I want, forget y'all. I'm not like that. Am I gonna fully support something that's MMA? Not really. Not really. This game right here, it has a lot of boxing elements in it. So I'm interested in it. Am I gonna support UFC 6? Not at all, because that's not my thing. I didn't support UFC 5 for none of that. I didn't support none of that. I'm not faking the funk. I'm not faking the funk. I'm not a UFC fan. Do I have a martial arts background? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. My brother was a martial artist. My brother was my teacher. When I boxed, my brother and my uncle, they were my teachers when I boxed. They were my coaches. Right. We don't even fully know what kind of boxing experience they are trying to deliver. And in today's gaming environment, that feels unusual. People are used to constant updates, roadmaps, trailers, early access breakdowns. So naturally, people start asking questions. Why this is different? Overhand Interactive is not a large studio. This is not a AAA pipeline. This is not a publisher-backed machine with hundreds of developers across multiple departments. From everything we understand, this is a very small team, 2 or 3 people. That changes everything. That changes everything. And to the people, and this, to me, this same thing applies to Claimer Uncut. To me, the same thing applies to Claimer Uncut. Because a lot of people think, hey, it's one person. Why don't y'all put that pressure on Steel City? Why don't y'all put that pressure on Steel City? This is the thing that makes me mad. I'm about to get mad right now. Y'all don't put that pressure on Steel City, but you put it, and it seemed like you're scared. Y'all like being bullied by Steel City. Because when there's one person, 2 people, developers, y'all putting pressure on them. But y'all not putting that pressure on Steel City. Steel City has over 100 developers. They have publishers. They have backing. They have boxing backing them. They have boxing backing them. The majority of boxing. But y'all not putting pressure on Steel City. Y'all putting pressure on Overhand Boxing. Overhand Interactive. Claimer Uncut. Sometime Leafy. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It's like y'all scared. Make it make sense. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. What's up, I precisely salute. Shaolin Faye. Salute. Appreciate you. Yo, I was missing you yesterday, man. I was looking for you. I don't know if you popped in and popped out, but I was looking for you. Shout out to all of y'all that came in. Please hit that like button so I could go into the algorithm. I know y'all be like, Dad, Poe getting excited for nothing. No, I'm not getting excited for nothing. My thing is, people they like jump, like even Love C Shorty. Forgive me, Love C Shorty, for forgetting you. Because, I'm going off of the topics that's popping up. And I didn't forget you, but I was talking about the topics at hand. But even guys like Love C Shorty, y'all expect everything that Steel City is doing from somebody like Love C Shorty, somebody like Claimer Uncut, somebody like these guys. And then a lot of times, y'all not even investing in them. Y'all not even investing in them. Me, I will give investments to them. Me, I will give investments to them because I trust their visions. You cannot apply the same expectations you would on a major studio to a team that size. It does not scale that way. It does not function that way. When people expect the same level of output, polish, and communication cadence as something built with massive funding, they are setting themselves up for disappointment. And that is not fair to the developers. And that is not fair to the developers. Comparison to larger studios. Now compare that to the studios with larger teams, bigger funding, and active marketing cycles. When those studios go silent, it raises different concerns. You expect more transparency because the resources are there. The infrastructure is there. The expectations are different. With Overhand Interactive, the silence could mean something entirely different. It could mean they are focused. It could mean they are building systems because before showing anything prematurely. Before showing anything prematurely. Doesn't that sound familiar? People for Steel City Hand. Fans for Steel City Hand. They wanted Steel City to hurry up and push Undisputed out. They forced Steel City Hand. They forced the publishers and the investors, because they was watching it in the early part of development. Investors and publishers watch the game. They see the activity and everything. They saw that fans wanted this game at all costs. And they said, we want that early money anyway, so let's get it. So Steel City pushed it out. They didn't want to put it out that early. Ash didn't want to put it out that early because it was more things he wanted to do and add. But when y'all did that, y'all messed up the whole infrastructure of what was going on. Y'all messed up the whole infrastructure. And it sounds like I'm defending Ash. I'm not. I'm really not. All right. Now compare that to a studio with larger teams, bigger funding, and active marketing cycles. When those studios go silent, it's different. I read that. All right. With Overhand Interactive, the silence could mean something entirely different. It could mean they are focused. It could mean they are building systems before showing anything prematurely. Or it could mean they simply do not have the bandwidth to communicate constantly while developing. Communicating while developing. Sound like how Steel City tries to do it. Well, they did try to do it. Because they don't even communicate, even though they probably look in the Discord every once in a blue moon. All right, all of those are valid possibilities. The curiosity factor. Here is the interesting part. The silence is also creating curiosity because we do not know anything. Every question becomes bigger. How deep is the boxing going to be? Are they focusing on simulation or accessibility? What does their punch systems look like? How are they handling movement, stamina, and damage? When there is no information, speculation fills the gap. And I know some of y'all saying, Poe, it's a Muay Thai game. Why are you making this about boxing only? It's a Muay Thai game, because I'm not talking about Muay Thai. I'm not going to talk about the Muay Thai stuff. That's something that if Leafy came on the show, or Aram or somebody else come on the show, they could talk about that. But me, I'm not going to talk about that. You know, sorry, but not sorry. All right. What does their punch system look like? How are they handling movement, stamina, and damage? When there is no information, speculation fills the gap. And that can work both ways. It can build intrigue or it can build doubt. And it's funny because I've seen that intrigue and doubt. Some people that's doubting them, some people intrigued. Me, I literally thought they something happened. I really thought something happened. All right. Community expectations. Another issue is expectation inflation. Another issue is expectation inflation. And this is something that I see a lot. Some people are already imagining a full feature, ultra realistic combat game with deep AI, advanced physics, and complete career systems from a 2 or 3 man team. From a 2 or 3 man team. Let me let that sink in a little bit more. From a 2 or 3 man team. That is where things start to disconnect from reality. You cannot expect the output of a massive development studio from a team that small. Before I go on, and the thing is, people expect more from them than they expect from Steel City. And they was giving Steel City excuses. They were giving Steel City excuses. They said, how do you expect them to do what EA and 2K does? Easy. They have over 100, even with 65 to 70 people, they still can accomplish a lot. They can accomplish a lot. They can accomplish a AAA high quality game. They can do it. Do I got to bring up references? Do I got to show y'all games that did it with people with the low numbers like that? Made incredible games. And let me say this to the developers that might be listening, because it's a Sunday and a lot of developers just be scanning the internet. To the developers that's watching this podcast, YouTube video or whatever, fans are okay with not having realistic boxes. Fans are okay with not having realistic boxes because they know, well, some of them know that it's hard to get these boxes and it's expensive. A person like me, prefer for y'all to use all that money that you would invest in boxers into making great systems, architecture, and things like that. I prefer for you to give us great AI, great adaptive things, and give us a career mode, a deep career mode, manager mode. We should have stables, all these different things. And you give us these things, and a lot of us will be satisfied. And the biggest and hardcore boxing fans will be satisfied. And for one thing, it creates content for the content creators that's really boxing fans. So if you make a game with great mechanics that replicate every style in boxing and give us the opportunity to critique styles, critique the arcs of punches and stuff like that. I'm gonna do a show with idea. I'm gonna do an idea show for the people, for the developers that want to make a video game. I think I might do that on today. I might do that later on today. And you will come and try to mess up my moment. All right, y'all. Give me a second. Aaron trying to get in here. Is it Aaron or is it AJ Pax? Let me see. Let me see. Now my computer went slow roll. It's Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
Hey, what's up, Pope?
Nothing much. I was waiting for you, but I started.
No, you're good.
Yeah. What you think about the news about Truth Bound?
There was news on it?
Yeah.
What was the news?
Am I saying the wrong thing? Cause I be give Claimer Uncut and the other overhand boxing. That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good that they finally released something, but it didn't happen until I finally tagged one of the admins of the Discord. So it's like, it shouldn't have taken that much time in between. Like, I get, you don't want people to over anticipate and get antsy and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, you still have a community to relate information to. So the least you can do is at least have some kind of line of communication where it's frequent enough to allow people to understand that it's still work in progress, but you're still working on it at the same time. Like it's not over, basically, because a lot of the people's notion was that it was done and that basically they had given up on the game. And then it comes to find out, they're supposedly in the process of capturing, Faint and it's like doing some Muay Thai animations and stuff like that for the game. Which the reason why I'm kind of like I'm not kind of excited about it is just because that's something that I had seen from them last year, and I pointed that out in the Discord that if they are taking this long to say anything, either they haven't really made any progress and they're still kind of like stuck on the same thing, or they're basically done with the game, as in like they're not going to do anything in releasing it anymore. So it's kind of like I'm glad they put the news out, but at the same time, like, they're kind of still in the same place in a way, it seems. But I could be wrong. That could just be like old data and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty recent.
Yeah, but they should have basically did what my thing is. Like I keep saying, that companies should not announce that they're bringing a game out unless it's going to be out like a month after you announce it, say that you're making a game, because fans' expectations can trigger you, and it could it breaks a lot of these developers because they trying like, oh man, I don't want to mess up my money and stuff like that. My thing is, bump it. If you put out the information, put it out. If they can't accept that you're still making a game and stuff, that's on them. But they still gonna buy it regardless. If it's a great game, it's a great game.
Exactly. And I think that's fair, to be honest. Like, because you had those expectations of when a date is supposed to be or when you think it should be released, and sometimes that doesn't always correlate to the process of the game development, and especially whenever it, wherever they are in their game cycle. So realistically, like I kind of agree with what you just said, just because like we have games like Overhand Interactive supposedly still in the works, Truthbound, and Undisputed, of course, etc. We have all these games and stuff, and a lot of it was just it's heavy anticipation and heavy like just a lot of commotion about when is it going to be released, because a lot of the people will say on the Discord like, when is the game coming out, and then like when it's not out the same year that they asked the question, then they're like, okay, is this game ever coming out? What are y'all doing? So game development, it's a tough niche, and it doesn't always it's not a fast process. A lot of times if it's fast process, it doesn't cover everything it needs to.
Yeah, but in some aspects, it's the company that make things a little more difficult than they should be. Yeah, I don't know how to really approach this conversation about Overhand Interactive, but they are kind of making people like they really want, like, we don't even know what's the name of the game. What's the name of the game? We calling it Overhand Interactive. That's the company name.
Yeah, I think that they don't really have a name for it. I mean, it's still kind of I'm not going to say it's early in development, because I mean, I think that they're pretty far along in development. It's just they've spent more time in the development more than thinking about like what names to come up with for the game, which I mean, sometimes that happens, but at the same time, like I don't know exactly what they're going to do, because I know that they had said to a comment, I think it was last year, that they were going to have a boxing mode. I don't know if they're still doing the boxing mode, because it was specifically just a Muay Thai like mocap session and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to have a boxing mode anymore, because they felt like that was just going to take too long to add, or if that's still a part of the process. And the game is a lot further along the way.
Yeah, it seemed like the boxing, like every video that I saw was like mostly boxing. I think like one time that I saw like some Muay Thai looking stuff, but everything I saw looked like boxing.
They have a few videos of them doing kickboxing and Muay Thai. I think in the first video it was actually Muay Thai, I think.
Let me see. JJ in here, J my man, he said, I'll buy it because I like Muay Thai. To me personally, I think the Muay Thai looks more authentic than some of the boxing, but I need to see how it plays online. No, the boxing looked pretty decent. Let me see. I'm precisely say it's both a Muay Thai and boxing game. No, and Jay said it's mainly Muay Thai, but I think you'll be able to spar boxing. That's what I got from it, at least. And Jay said, I respect anyone who is solo making a game, but when you promote your game around being better than another, it's gonna be met with less wiggle room. Jay, don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar?
Here we go.
I wasn't gonna even try not to bring it up this early. Undisputed said that. Steel City said, I don't even know why I say Undisputed first, but Steel City said that. They said it's gonna be the best boxing game ever. It's not at all. It probably has the biggest roster ever, but yeah. I try not to talk about Undisputed. Let me get back off. Let me get back to what we're talking about. All right.
I mean, there is some news though.
What you mean?
Supposedly, Showbiz. I saw it in a comment under Crook's comment section from one of his last videos about Overhand Interactive. I think he took it down though. I'm not sure why. But there was a comment that basically had said Showbiz had said in one of his videos, I think it was his most recent video, I'm not sure. It was something about Showbiz saying basically there was something big coming from Undisputed soon.
Probably what's happening next week.
I don't know. My thing is like we have all conjured up the notion that it's gonna be Undisputed 2. So what, like, how is that like something big is coming soon? Like I just don't get that.
To them, you know how the content creators, they make things more than what it is. It's probably just that Undisputed 2 announcement. And to him, that's big news.
I mean, I wouldn't see it being anything other than that. But then again, I mean, unless he has some kind of information that he's not, allowed to say. Like,
yeah, even this guy that say he's Showbiz's cousin said that he's privy, he got information he's not privy to like say too much. Because I was trying to get him on the show.
Really?
Yeah, and he said, what's his name? I hate when I be looking at so many names. I try not to, focus too much on them. But he was like, yeah, because he was like, yeah, Showbiz told me. He said, I got the information. That's my cousin. I was like, yeah, all right. I'll go with what you're saying.
It's probably a big DLC.
Because they got to keep that money going some type of way until they get this game going. So it has to be something like that. But it's more than that because you don't need to fly people out there to talk about that. You could talk about that in the conference call. So it's something bigger than that.
Yeah, but I think it's a big DLC with a announcement of Undisputed 2 happening.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the part that I think why they really there. And I guess they're gonna do a video and everything to make it official, make it look beautiful and stuff like that. My thing is Sean Porter is not the person to use if that's your announcement. I'm serious. Ben Whitaker or somebody like that, Shakur Stevens, not Sean Porter.
Hey, Shakur Stevenson might be the headliner of the DLC.
Yup. Might be. And we might get shocked. They might throw Mayweather in there just for the heck of it. Hey, we'll get better in the next game. He might be acting a little janky in this game, but he'll be better in the next game. Imagine them doing some bull junk like that.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. People would. I think more people be complaining because they know he's not going to work the way he should be in the game, and they gave him to it. Like, oh man, no, they're gonna be like, yeah, Floyd, no, Floyd.
Yeah, I'm not super excited, but I definitely have a curiosity about what's going on next week because I know that it's they got a lot of stuff happening for some reason, and it seems a lot of it is revolved around Undisputed, like as if they haven't fully moved on to the next Undisputed 2, but I feel like technically they have because they've been working on it for a while. So I wouldn't know what would be the hold up and the delay for that when they already have it set in motion that they're moving on to Undisputed 2. But I mean, it would be something that they would do of some big DLC, and then on top of that, we're moving on. This is the last update. Basically, it's going to be one major announcement of like one big update, essentially.
But my thing, even with a big update, how long can that last before you literally put the Undisputed 2 out?
I mean, I don't think Undisputed is coming out. Undisputed 2 is coming out until 2020. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be out in 2028.
Yeah, I can't. And how are you gonna keep people that long? I can't see it. Even though there's people gonna probably find a way to the leagues and stuff to keep it going. But I know once Grand Theft Auto and all these other games come out, that's gonna be an afterthought. Let me
Yeah,
see.
that's why they're not releasing it at this time because you have UFC 6 coming out and supposedly got confirmed by Mike Straw uh June. So, I mean, you've got that coming out. They're going to probably try to see how that works. Um and they're probably going to base a lot of their decisions off of that probably in some kind of way. But
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see it coming out like I said until like 2028, and that's you know that's about 2 years away. So
yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything major when it comes to like a trailer or anything like that until maybe like 2027.
And they gotta find a way to keep the money train going. I don't see how it's gonna keep moving. Let me see. See if they had Turkey Alex Sheik, they would have been good. They would have been good. Oh yeah, that's something I want to talk about. That was going to be my second part of my script that I wrote. There's people that saying that oh, matter of fact, it's the guy that I was talking about, Showbiz's cousin. He's saying that Steel City ran out of funds. That's the biggest lie ever. I don't know where he got the information, and I'm not saying you lying. Somebody told you that, but that don't make no sense because why would they do all these events? If you ain't got no money, that's something that companies do not do. They don't do no big events. They don't sponsor the events. They literally just sponsored 3 events back to back. They're traveling a lot. They bringing people out. And he's saying, well, they just got money. That's why they doing this. No, that's not why they just doing this. They got money. They
Yeah,
have money.
that doesn't make sense. How did? Yeah, that
It
wouldn't make
does.
any sense. And then
Because
just to be like, oh, they got money now, like, okay, well, where did that come from?
yeah, that don't make no sense. They got money. For one, if they for some this is some strange reason they like start depleting their funds, the investors just invest more into the company, and they just got to give them back probably double. That's
And
just
another,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah, but you and then I heard they was looking for more develop. That's what I meant to ask Jay. Jay, didn't you say they was looking for new developer? I mean, new investors.
What?
Yeah, I heard. I heard. I think I heard that's what he said. Somebody said it. Said they was potentially looking for new investors.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's where the guy probably got that rumor from. That conversation, that thinking that's what it's going.
One of the biggest issues revolved around this whole game is the amount of misinformation and bad sources there is. Like,
Yep.
you've got people popping out the woodworks, like in the Discord and stuff like that, just like giving like the most false info and like, oh, I got it from a guy who knows a guy, and that guy's a boxer. Like, it's a whole lot of just whoopla and like whiplash. Like, it's just bad like sources everywhere, and they just keep coming and coming and coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's like you ask them to verify their information, and then just to see if it's a credible like source, and then like they won't give you any kind of source. Which, I mean, yeah, of course you're not going to give out your source, but then it's like you look just as stupid for giving false information. Like that one dude who just kept coming in the Discord and just being like, oh, I heard that there's this major DLC in summer. Where'd you hear that from?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard it from a boxer. Okay. Like,
What boxer?
he didn't say.
Exactly. Tevin Williams said, if they're looking for new investors, that means they need more money. No, I said it was rumored, and that's if they needed more money, and which is stupid because they sold too many copies for them to be,
In that kind of predicament.
in this predicament. And my thing is, if anything, being that Turkey, I think immediately will invest in this game if
I
they
don't
need
think
an investor. What'd you say?
I don't think he would.
Why not?
Just because, I mean, just the fallout, it just doesn't seem like
Oh,
it doesn't seem like it would be a.
you ain't let me be in the beginning. Now you want my help? That's what you mean?
It's that type of thing. Like, why would you? Oh, now, yeah, exactly. Why would you want my help now? Because you need the funds, and it's like with what Turkey working with Dana. I just don't see him having that level of interest in trying to do something with Undisputed because he'll probably look more into thinking of like doing like some kind of Zuffa boxing game. Like he'll probably look more into that being the next iteration of a boxing game because like Undisputed, even though it was successful in sales, it declined when it comes to just overall satisfaction of the community in general. So I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong because behind the scenes they could be buddy buddy, but at the
Yeah,
end of the day, I just don't see it being something that happens.
yeah. Because they did Turkey dirty because Turkey was talking good about him when he had that interview with, I forget the guy's name, but he was having an interview with the Turkeys talking highly about the game. He said it's gonna be the best game ever. It's gonna be better than what EA will can make and stuff like that. And then come to find out Turkey only promoting the game and all that. And they got the investors from England.
Yep.
That right there was crazy. That was crazy work. And he used that he used that to his advantage. Ash and the team. Because everybody kept saying, hey, Turkey invested in the game. Everybody was saying they thought Turkey was invested in the game. We're gonna have the best game ever. Then when we start seeing things that look like it's gonna be the best game ever, say he can't be investing in this game. Let me do more research. I mean, he wasn't part of. He's just part of the marketing part. Let me see. Kevin said, no. I'm precisely say, yeah, that executioner guy is sick in the head.
That dude
He
is
just makes up stuff.
That dude is an idiot, and I know exactly who that alt account is.
Who is
that? It's it's that G dude, something G, because I'd gone on his channel.
Oh, he got the league. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, he's part of that league. Yeah, he's part of the Fantastic Four league, but like. He's that dude where it's like every single time, and I don't know if anybody in here remembers this dude specifically in the Discord, but there was this guy who every single time, whether it was Saf or Shep, there was going to be an announcement, but they didn't even specifically say when the announcement was. There was always that one dude who was just always seeming like he was cracked out on sugar or cocaine or something. And he would always keep asking, like, hey, did anybody hear the news? Hey, does anybody have any kind of news? News today? News tomorrow? News today? Yeah. News this weekend? Like, he would always do that every single time there was, like, some type of announcement that was about to happen. And it literally got so annoying to the point where Saf was like, okay, can you calm down? Like, I know this is, exciting for you, but can you chill out a little bit? And Shep said the same thing. And then a lot of the community started getting annoyed because it's like, dude, we all want to hear what they have to say. But you don't got to keep asking like every single time you see that they're online. Like, chill out with that. And that's the same guy who the executioner is. Because he would always stay up super, super late. Butcher. Butcher. That's the dude.
Oh yeah. I think I got him as a friend. I'm glad
Yeah,
that
that
dude
dude's
don't
an idiot.
aggravate me. I'm glad he don't. I'm glad he don't aggravate me like that. Let that stay in the Discord channels. Don't aggravate me in my DMs.
If he knew that, if he thought you were a source, he would surely
Yeah,
annoy you
he
about
would. He
everything.
would. I remember I had guys like that. Like when the Discord first started and they found out that me and Ash was talking and stuff, man, boy, people used to be in my DMs all the time. I said, nah, man. I said, I can't tell you nothing. I don't know nothing. They just back and forth. It was the two brothers. I think they was autistic or something. That used to be in the Discord. It was like two brothers. Like it was like I don't know if they're autistic or whatever. I think they said they were autistic. Tell them, Joe, this is gonna be the best game ever. Don't you ever tell negative about this game. I was like, all right, you have you have your opinion. Them jokesters, they used to be in that Discord faithfully. And they end up getting banned for some strange reason, I guess, because they're being over the top. There's
Yeah,
like,
some people just can't control themselves.
yeah, see, I'm gonna be the best in this game, and nobody's gonna beat me. You're just. I was like, oh man, come on, man. You are like you're creating this game. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. See what y'all saying in the chat. Y'all hit them like buttons, please. Got what 4 people here actively. Yeah, so what you think that Overhand, you think they should come out and say something like actually make a them make the announcement instead of having people sit talk for them?
I mean, yeah, it would probably be better if the developers themselves actually said something, because I feel like with that amount of time that had passed, it just seemed kind of like, y'all were done. And then, y'all, I know that they were active in the chat because they're active on their social medias. They like stuff, and, they'll repost or share stuff and stuff like that. So, they were active on their socials. So the fact that they were still, not really giving any kind of information to their community, I feel like it would at least be the decent thing to do, to just be like, we're still working on the game. It's just we've got a lot of going on, and that would be more understandable if it was said from the development team. But I feel like there was nothing that, because what had happened is last year, and this was around the time of the Undisputed Championship Edition, I had talked to a guy. I don't really know his name. It's like Q2, and he's one of the admins in the Overhand Interactive server. And so, he was basically saying that they're still working on the game. It's just, the process, it takes a lot of time. So we're trying to make sure everything is in order. But I promise you, I've talked to these guys. They're still avidly working on the game. Like, there's not going to be any kind of delays, but we're also not going to give you a concrete date or anything like that, because we don't want to, do anything with expectations and everything like that, and miss a date or anything like that.
Yeah.
So he had said, because I had asked him, could they at least, come in here themselves and just, give some kind of information of what's going on. Like, we would like to hear it from them themselves. And he was like, I'll talk to them and I'll see what I can do. And I don't know if they will, but if they decide to, they'll end up posting. They'll post something, or they'll come in here and talk to y'all and let y'all know where they're at in the process of development. And so we all agreed. We were like, okay, cool. So months passed by and everything like that. And now we're starting to think, okay, well, either the guy had lied, or they're stuck in somewhere in the development process, or they're just not going to be able to put this out anymore. And then finally, I was like, I'm just going to tag the admin. So I tagged the admin, asking him like, what's going on? All of a sudden, a day later, he starts posting, we got this mocap session and stuff like that. And he tags the whole Discord and everything, telling them like, go like and share this video, and it's on their Instagram live. And I was just like, so if this was all going on, why didn't y'all just say something like, hey, we're still working on it?
It took to make them say something, and all that time they could have just said something. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I just feel like it took too much time. Like, we're not asking for videos. We're not asking for you to show us where you're at. Just let us know that, hey, development is still in motion. That's the least that you could do. Because at that period of time, everybody was thinking that nothing was going on. So that's why I ended up tagging the admin, because it's like, nobody else is going to do it, so I might as well do it. If I get banned from the Discord, I get banned from the Discord. I don't care. So, and then you have sometimes you have the moderators in there, and they're just chilling and stuff like that. Like, they had links and stuff like that, those bad links and bot links and stuff like that in the Discord, and it took them hours just to take that crap out. And so it's just like, it's, if you're gonna make a game, make the game on your time. At the same time, at least let the people who are going to commit to, helping in any kind of way possible with your game, just give them some kind of something to hold them over. Like, hey, it's still happening, at the least.
Yeah, I agree. Let me read some more of my segment. All right. Another issue is expecting inflation. Some people are already imagining a full feature, ultra realistic boxing or combat simulation with deep AI. I read that. From 2 or 3 people. This is where things start to disconnect from reality. You cannot expect the output of a massive development studio from a team that small. It does not matter how talented they are. Time, manpower, and resources matter. So the conversation needs balance. You can be curious, you can be excited, you can ask questions, but expectations need to match reality. And on a lighter note, yeah, I get it. People want faces. They want to know who they are supporting. They want to connect names to the project. That human element matters, especially in smaller indie studios. AJ Pack says, AJ Pack saying he needs faces to identify who we are supporting. I get the joke. But he's serious, but it's a joke to me. But there is some truth in it. People invest more when they feel connected. I don't think people invest more when they see what it is, because sometimes when you see people, you be like, nah, I ain't investing in that person. He look like he's a thief. He look like he's going to do this. He look like he's not going to live up to what I want. So seeing faces and stuff don't mean anything. Let me see. So here is where I land on this. The silence is noticeable. The lack of information is real. The unanswered questions are stacking up. But at the same time, this is not a situation where you apply pressure the same way you would to a fully funded studio. This is a small team, a very small team. They deserve a different level of patience. That does not mean blind support. That does mean no accountability. Hold up, I read that wrong. That does not mean no accountability. It just means understanding the context before reacting. Right now, we are in the wait and see phase. And until we actually see something tangible, everything else is speculative. Let me see. All right, here goes something I was talking about. I reacted too early. All right. All right. What triggers you? There makes sense from all right, let me see. What that I'm ready to become some comment is actually saying. See, somebody said, I'm ready to become Sim. And that right there like triggered me. He said that in the Discord, not a Discord, a Facebook group. It's a undisputed Facebook group. And he said, I'm ready to become Sim. When someone says I'm ready to become Sim in a boxing game context, they're usually not making a technical claim about the game becoming a simulator. They're expressing one of these three things. I want to play more realistic now. I'm tired of arcade habits or bad spam styles. I want to engage with the game more seriously. I'm trying to adapt to the dominant meta I'm seeing. I'm more about player intent changes, and this is my thing. If the game, you shouldn't have to pretend to play sim. The game should come out the box as a sim. And this is what people making rules, or they playing a certain way to emulate what's sim. No, the game should give you the tools. And this is another thing I want to mention. When people say that the boxers in the game throw too many punches, Jarrell Miller threw over 1,000 punches yesterday. Big Baby Miller threw over 1,000 punches yesterday. And y'all would say that that's too many punches in a video game. And don't give me that it's just a video game nonsense, because if we're using just a video game logic, it should be way more punches than that. Give me a second. Yes. Give me a second. Yes. What? Not that I know of, no. No. Like $5. Oh, you did take money. You did go in that glove compartment, but I don't know what was going on. I wasn't paying attention. I saw you go in your glove compartment to grab something. No. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. You still there now?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my wife.
No, you're good.
All right. When someone says I'm ready to become Sim in a boxing game context, they're usually not making a technical claim about the game being a simulator. Yes, they are. More about player intent than a system about the game official identity. So it's not necessarily undisputed. It's not a sim. Is not a sim. See, I gotta start letting chat change of what I say. I didn't have time to read it, and I let chat be because I literally I write all my stuff, then I let chat reorganize it for me. But chat start adding in stuff. I'm like, I didn't say that big word. Why are you putting the big word? Oh, you want to let people know that you helped me. That joke be crazy. Yeah, but it triggers me when people be saying how the game should be played, and stuff like that. No, y'all, by y'all accepting what the game is or not really saying anything, y'all like telling the developers in the next game, give us whatever you want. We'll fix it ourselves. That's what I feel. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like there's always kind of like a unspoken rule when it comes to games. Like, you're always gonna have those cornballs who are always gonna try to find any kind of method and copy and paste that method to win and show it to other people. And then, you're always gonna have those people that are gonna try to, you know, there it doesn't matter the amount of sim that you have in a game. I think that even though it is up to the developers to do the necessary things mechanically within a game in order to instill the player base to play the way that it's intended to be played, it's also up to the community as a whole. And when you have a community that's so far sighted, you're gonna tend to get those people who are not gonna see it in a situation where it's like they need to play sim or they need to emulate what that sport is supposed to be. And you're going to have those people who are going to be cheesy. You're going to have those people who are going to be cornballs. You're going to have those people who don't understand what sim and emulation is, because they don't really know the sport to the level that they need to be able to do that. And so it's up to the community to want to learn. It's up to the community to want to be able to do things like that. Because if you don't have people who are gonna, emulate the nature of sim in the game, if you don't have that, you're always gonna have those people who are gonna make one person look like they're boxing, and the other person is gonna highlight the bad aspects of what the game is. And even in this game, where you could try to emulate the sport to the best of your abilities with the mechanics that it has, at the end of the day, it still looks bad just because of the way that the game has been developed. And that's entirely on the development team. But at the same time, when you're coming to a place where you're saying that a game has to be a certain type of way, the community also has to fit that standard. If that community doesn't fit the standard, then they're they're not gonna flow with the philosophy of what's intended to be within that game.
True. Yeah, because when like I said, people heard the conversation me and Ash had. Ash was saying that people will learn. He said it's because he wanted it to be like the game should be. You can have somebody that don't know how to play the game. They can play the game any way they want to. Like if a person coming there with guns blazing, that's on them. And somebody know how to box, they should be able to beat on them. Or that person might be able to hit you with a lucky shot because you're not like letting them burn themselves out and then you take care of them. And that's the way Ash was trying to approach making the game. He wanted to be like real boxing. Like you go in there, guns blazing, and you got a person in that's technical, and he's letting you, throw everything to the wind. Now everything you don't throw into the wind. Now you don't have nothing. Now I'm a whoop on you. And that was what he wanted this game to be, but it's nothing like that. And I'm like,
not.
And I'm like, are we going to get that in the second game?
I do think. Go ahead.
I think the next game is going to just be a little more, far as the NSYNC and stuff like that. That's going. I mean, the desync is going to be better and things like that. But I think it's a lot of things going to almost be the same. I don't know though. I'm hoping it's not. But what you going to say?
I do think that when it comes to the game as a whole, it is up to the developers to also do their part in making the game have the mechanics needed in order to be able to emulate the sport that they're trying to build. But at the same time, like Undisputed 2, let's say that Undisputed 2 is the most sim boxing game of all time. Let's say that Undisputed 2 fits every single thing that you envision of what boxing is as a sport. You're still going to have those people who are going to ruin the game and make the game look flawed. But of course, if you go by the intention of the way it's intended to be played, it's going to look better. You're going to see the pristine aspects of the game. Undisputed 2 has a lot of the things that it has a lot that it can capitalize off of when it comes to everything that they've done just about with this game. Undisputed 1, it's wrong. So at least they have the data to improve upon with Undisputed 2. But at the same time, you're also going to have to understand that when it comes to, and this is specifically just for the online portion, like there are going to be people who are cheesy and they're going to ruin the game and they're going to ruin your experience. Not because it's not sim, but because that person is not playing the game the way it's supposed to be. But we also have to understand the player base, what's the age, what times are we playing and stuff like that. Like all these things are scenarios that should be understood also when it comes to trying to play a game to the way it's meant to be. Undisputed 2, it can be good. It can be great. I'm not saying anything in regards to thinking that it's going to be a negative game. But at the same time, when you go off of history, the way that these people were hired, the QA testers who did not take this game seriously, and the product that got put out was not good at all.
Yeah.
So you have people that you hire that are supposed to be taking a game where people paid their hard-earned money and they're still not taking it seriously. And so when they put out whatever the heck they put out and they approve it to go be put out into the public, it's bad all in all. So it's not just the dev team, it's also the QA team. It's a lot of members on the board that need to be fired because it's not just Ash, obviously. Ash he needs to do better when it comes to managing. He needs to
Yup.
do better when it comes to who he puts in place, so that way the game does not look completely different than what he says. Because at the end of the day, you can have all these names in the room, but at the end of the day, this is your game. So you're gonna be the one who looks the worst out of all of them. So you can
Yup.
say, oh, this person was in this position at the time whenever the game was made. This person was in this position at the time that the game came out to the public. You can say all of these things, but if you give a promise and you don't live up to what that promise was supposed to be, everybody is going to have, hatred or disdain for you, because it was supposed to be you who not only managed the community's envisionment of what the game was going to be, because that's what you said it was going to be, but it's also the fact that you put these people in bad, compromising positions who don't know what they're doing because they the lack of experience. So now you, all in all, look worse because you have somebody that you can say they've had all this understanding and they've been in this field long enough to be able to hire certain people. But at the end of the day, guess what? He hired the wrong people. And so he shouldn't even be in the position of hiring people. So at the end of the day, Undisputed 2 has a lot of data to collect where it can thrive and it can succeed. But that also comes at the cost of a lot of people are going to need to be replaced. A lot of people are going to need to understand you're not equipped for what we're trying to do, and you're not able to go in the direction we need you to be. And that's okay because that just comes with the business. That's what happens whenever you're in a situation that involves you making money and trying to have a community. It's going to happen. So a lot of people, they shouldn't be here. A lot of people marketing, managing, hiring, all this stuff. It's not to be mean. It's just in the reality of where we live and the economy that we're in right now.
Yup.
If your job tells you that you're not doing something, or let's say you're a hiring manager, if you hire the wrong people a few times, you're getting fired.
Yup.
And it might not even be a few times. Just do it 2 times and they'll say, okay, you're done.
Yup.
It happens with this line of work. So with that being said, no, there's nothing mean about it. That's just what happens when you're in industry. It happens whenever you're in marketing and working and doing jobs. You get fired if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So we need to have that kind of same consideration when it comes to these devs. They
Yup.
did not do their job. A lot of them did not do their job. And as much as they want to make their community seems like they're a bunch of whack jobs, at the end of the day, y'all did everything wrong.
Yup.
When it comes to communication, building, understanding what the community needs, and not being able to put it into fruition. So with that being said, like, do I want Undisputed to succeed? Yeah. But at the same time, with the data that I've collected from this development team, it's unlikely to be everything that we want it to be. Does it have the qualities and capabilities of what it takes for this game to succeed? Yeah. But at the same time, have the devs really learned?
Yeah, that's a good question. And you said the keyword data makes me lead into the survey.
Oh my
God. The third party survey. I'm doing my advertisement now. I need the content creators in the community to support the survey. I got one that I made. Y'all could fill that one out, or y'all could do the petition. I prefer for y'all to do the petition one. Game developers are waiting for that one to get to 100, because to them 100 is like 1,000,000 people signed it. It's 100. It got attention. It's trying to wait for them to get to 100 to put eyes on it, but they want a survey, and I mean they want the petition signed. They want people to want a third party survey. And we need it because with a survey, like I keep telling y'all, it's like a receipt. When the developers say we didn't know what y'all wanted or this is what y'all want, like no, that ain't what we want. Look, it's right here on this receipt, on this data that we got. But they're scared to do a survey because it's going to hold them accountable. And people keep saying that can't force. Yes, it does. What it does is the publishers and investors, they put pressure on the team and the company because they're the one that's giving money to the company. So to the publishers and the investors, it's like we know where our money's going at. We know what fans want, so that's where the money should be concentrated at. All right, that's the end of that survey. I mean that promo. All right, now back to the regularly scheduled content. What was we talking about?
If the devs learned.
Yeah, I really don't think they learned. I don't think they think they did anything wrong. Is Ash going to tell them that? You know what? I heard that Jay said they let go people, but I see a lot of people that are still there. For one, I see Aimbot still there, and that's the main person that you would think will be gone, because he the coder. So how is he gonna code Unreal Engine when he went to college and stuff for Unity?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's even going to still be there whenever they officially like move to Unreal Engine. So, I mean, a lot can happen in a year. A lot can happen in a few months. So,
yeah, I think he probably went to school for it. He probably went off on his off time or whenever that time they're letting him do. The way Steel City got things, they got the best benefits and everything. I'd be hating. I'd be like, Dad, gone. Look at all these vacations they could get. Look at the sick time. I'm like, yo, it's crazy. Look like they even buy you computers and stuff. Like, yo, sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like when it comes to that job positioning and stuff like that, throughout the Steel City circle, it seems like a lot of them don't do exactly what they need to do. But then again, like I don't really have all that kind of information when it comes to the people that are in the positions that they're in. So I really couldn't even give you any kind of real point on what the heck they're doing, because I just feel like when it comes to what you would expect for them to be doing, I feel like the expectation is more than what is been put out when it comes to the game as a whole. So whether that's because of everybody not taking the game seriously, including Ash, I don't know, because I mean, like Ash said in that one comment, he was proud of everybody. So it's just like, I mean, if he's proud, then I guess they're hitting all markers on where he wants the game to be and what his expectation is of the his development team. Apparently, they're meeting his expectations.
Yeah, that's crazy work from to say that. Though. I'm like, yo, what are you seeing? Because that ain't how he was talking. You should this how Ash was talking. He said he did not like what EA was. He said it did not represent boxing. He said Fight Night Champion did not represent boxing. It was arcade. He was saying so many things about it. I was like, hold up. Is this Joker just trying to make me excited and happy? And he was saying everything that I would say. And he was saying it to me, like repeating it. And he said, yeah, he said, just like you, I got a wish list. I got a long list of ideas. I know you be making ideas all the time. He was saying stuff like that. And he said, I want this game to be tactical. I want it to represent boxing. When you see boxers, they should represent themselves. if you're playing as Roy Jones, he should fight like Roy Jones or feel like Roy Jones, even though you're going to change the tactics, but still you know the tools that Roy Jones got, and those are his strengths. And I was like, oh, sweat. Joker made a tear cut in my eye a little bit. And I said, Dad, Ash. I said, yo, man, I'm excited. I wanted to be on the team that right then and there. He said, I'm going to try to let you be a part of the team some type of way. And I guess when he went back and told that to the team, and they found out who I was, especially when Will got there, that was a no-go. Nah, can't have him on the team. Nah, that Joker too passionate. He gonna make us work. He gonna make us do something. And you know what make it so bad? 1024, that company, it's like they had a passion behind them. And it seemed like something stopped them from having more input on the development of things. It's like somebody say, hey, just do the graphics and we don't need nothing else from you. That's it. Because the guy from 1024, they do all, like, there's different graphics in the game. Certain characters are more detailed than other characters. It's the ones that the marquee boxers, and those are the ones that 1024 did. And it's like, yo, why are you silencing people that can help your game go to that next level? I'm like, what are you doing?
Sometimes I don't even think it's necessarily that they silence people. Sometimes I just think it's just all around the board, just bad management. I feel like there's a lot of
too buddy.
It's not even that. It's just like, whenever you see or whenever you have somebody who's working and you're a manager, if you stop paying attention to what they're doing, if you're not checking up on them as avidly, like, they're going to start to slack off in some areas where you would expect for them to always be, up to par. But at the same time, and it's like that with anything. Like, I mean, it's as simple as a cop. Like, even cops have done it. Like, oh, I'm not going to keep checking up on you, clocking in overtime hours and making this amount of money. Like, it happens with everything. So, like, I think it's the same thing of poor management and trying to manage expectations when it comes to doing bare minimum things. And then, of course, whenever you have an expectation and you don't meet it, you start to kind of just, trickle down and allow that to kind of be the basis of how you do the rest of the stuff, like along the way. Like, for instance, like whenever they started taking things away and everything like that, and then it's like now all of a sudden, like, QA testers aren't really doing their job. They're not as consistent. They're not paying attention to everything that they need to before these things are out into live builds. So you have all these issues. You have all these things that they're not paying attention to, and it's just bad management. It's bad communication. It's inconsistency. There's not a thorough person who's managing everything so that everything is in order, in line. And I feel like when it comes to this game, I feel like everything was just bad management. I mean, you look at the way that they do social media, that's just bad. So it's not just there; it's everywhere when it comes to Steel City, in my opinion. And it trickles down to other aspects and other people that they're connected to that they're working with.
Yeah. Yo, did you see the post that Mike Carpenter put out?
No.
He said, who else misses fight night as much as me? We need it back in the worst way. Then I thought Mike Carpenter was talking good about Undisputed at one time. He was
at this point, I think Fight Night's inevitably coming out.
Yeah, and he was like, he said, who? And I'm like, hold up. I said, Mike Coppinger? I said, but that's a good thing though. I like when the boxing media says things like that. I say a lot of them got to be more outspoken. That's how we get better games and we get more companies making games. Yeah, because Mike Coppinger, he works for Zuffa. He's a Zuffa analyst now. I didn't know Zuffa got him. I know he was working for Ring Magazine.
Oh, we got Crooks in here.
Crooks in the house. Crooks in the house. Let me see some. Let me see. What Crooks at? I don't see Crooks.
Hold on. He just told me he was in here.
Oh, okay. I see him now. What's up, Crooks? Oh, you want to join the stream? All right. All right. Let me give you the link. And to let you know, we good people. We good people. I ain't trying to beef with nobody. We good people. Crooks, you my guy, man. You just as passionate as I am. Let me see. I know people want everybody in the community to beef with each other, but that ain't what it is. We just all have our different passions. All right. That's the link. I know somebody, but they talking about you Crooks. No, we ain't talking about you. We saying you got your own passion about things. We're not talking negative about you. You got your own, everybody got their own passion. Everybody want their own things. That's good. That's good. That's good though.
I just sent him the link too.
Oh, there you go, Crooks. Man, it's a strange day. We got guests today, and we got the one and only Crooks. Crooks the Great. What's up, Crooks?
Yo, what's going on? Y'all can hear me? What's going on? What's going on?
You good. You good.
What's up? What's going on, Poe? What up?
What's
What up,
going on, man? So, what's your expectations for this week?
In terms of what?
Because they got the content creators and Sean Porter. They're going up to England this week.
Oh yeah. I think I was the one that broke that shit. I think we're probably not gonna hear nothing until next week. It was
The week after.
I was talking to Imani about it yesterday. It looks like JX Shep is headed up there too. So there's something cooking. I don't know if it's for Undisputed 1 or Undisputed 2. Because initially when I heard about it, I was like, okay, they've been doing award ceremonies and stuff if you follow their Instagram.
Yeah.
But for them to have Sean going up there and then to have JX Shep and them going up there, there's something going on with Undisputed.
Yeah, something major.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be both. I think we're gonna get a DLC, a massive DLC, and we're gonna get an announcement for Undisputed 2. I think we're gonna get both. What you think?
I think it's a little too premature for Undisputed 2. If they did announce Undisputed 2, honestly, I'd be more concerned than anything because that means that they would be rushing it and they're not taking their time, which is what caused them to be in trouble with Undisputed 1 in the first place. You know, they rushed to push out a product that wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So if it was, it'd be more cause. I know a lot of people would be excited just because they don't like where the state of Undisputed 1 is, but to push for Undisputed 2 right now and for them to even make an announcement on it, it'd be pretty concerning.
You really think them by them telling us that they're working on it that'll be a bad thing? I think it'll like literally give clarity to people because that's what a lot of people expecting. If they just don't say anything and just DLC and stuff like that, people going I think the complaining gonna be amplified.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you that them announcing Undisputed or saying that they're working on it and shifted all their attention over it would be the right thing to do, not only from just a practical business standpoint, but also from building their rapport back up with their community. But in terms of like a gameplay trailer or them saying, "Hey, we're gonna release Undisputed 2 in 2027," that would be cause for pause.
Yeah, yeah, that right there. No trailers, no nothing, no show us nothing. Cause we that trailer stuff, the thing we're gonna do is, especially if the trailer look better than ESBC, and we get something similar to that, now we're gonna be like, oh man, we went through this before. We went through this before, and we're not, or we're gonna get the same thing. Do
I
you
don't
feel?
know. I still think that there's potential of it being an Undisputed 2 announcement and it just being released in 2028.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
could
think.
I could see that. That's what I heard. I heard that probably about 6 months ago that was their plan, was to release it in the summer of 2028, and I like that timeline. It's realistic, and
But
it
how you
gives them
gonna
enough time to be able
sustain?
to work on it.
But how they gonna sustain the game that long in the condition it's in, especially with other major titles coming out?
I don't think they're worried about sustaining it right now. Just because I mean it's obvious it's kind of it's not fully dying out. I mean, you still have somewhat of a player base left, but I don't think that sustaining the game is really it. I don't think that it's really their priority at the moment in time. I think that they're on to other things right now.
Yeah, but when I mean by sustaining, you gotta have some type of money coming in. Unless they're gonna keep pushing out DLC or stuff like that, they gotta
I'm
constantly have money. The investors, they're not gonna keep just like constantly blindly throwing money in and they're not getting no return immediately. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's why I think that there's a chance that something big is going to be happening. Maybe they release like a heavy DLC pack, maybe with like 15, 20 fighters or boxers. You know what I mean? Something like that.
How
But
long
at the
that
same,
gonna last?
yeah, that's the truth. It'll last people about 6 months or so. But at some point that would be around the time when you would expect them to release, something about Undisputed or give a timeline on it.
Okay.
But I feel like like what Amani was saying, they're not necessarily too concerned about sustaining it because there's no competition. Because UFC 6 is taking up all of EA Sports Canada, who's the company that makes Fight Night, is the
Yeah.
division that makes Fight Night. They're concerned with EA Sports UFC 6 for the next year at least
That's
before
their
they'll even.
competition. It's a combat game. So
Yeah.
UFC 6 gonna always.
Well, and also they're the company that they would have to watch out for in terms of making a new Fight Night. So
Yup. Yup.
they don't have to worry about another new Fight Night for at least a year and a half. So
Yup.
where's the competition coming?
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
I would agree with Amani, but then at the same time, people forget too, that the whatever kind of boxing game that Turkey Al Sheikh's making with the Street Fighter creator, he's doing one, and then there's there's like talks of or rumblings of maybe like a Zuffa boxing game coming out at some point.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but there's really no strong competition for Undisputed right now.
And it's crazy though. It's like a company could come out if they brings like a little peak of something nice, and they could like kind of gobble up undisputed fan base, and that's the thing that they got to worry about. It could be like a combat game that somebody's working on. Like when I be telling people, it's developers that want to make boxing games. They really do. That's why I be telling the content creators. I be like, yo, y'all should be supporting the survey that I'm trying to get out there. because these developers, they want it. That's why we saying a lot of y'all should hang in the LinkedIn. Developers there all day long. I'm always talking to developers. Me more so because they see that I had some type of connection to EA and other games. So they like really talk to me and reach out to me. And it's like, yo, you're real passionate about a boxing game. You give out great ideas. We would like to use some of your ideas, but we're scared to invest money in a game. A lot of these companies are multi-million-dollar companies. Some are probably billion-dollar companies, but their thing is, in this economy, we can't just put money into a video game unless we know where our money's going. And that's where a third-party survey come into play. And I think, and I be telling people that's why it works for Steel City. If we get a third-party survey and ask Steel City, that's what we want, like with the petition that I be trying to push out there, it forces Steel City to put money into things that will help them. It actually will help the game. What you think?
That survey is not gonna work.
You don't think it'll work?
I don't think so.
Because it's like I'm not going off of what I feel. I'm going off of what developers are telling me. They're telling me this is how we allocate what our money go to. It will make the developers, like when they talk to me, I can like literally show you the conversations. They literally say that it shows us where our money should go. But if we just blindly go into making a boxing game, because they still feel this will I be getting this one of my biggest conversations with developers. I said, why you keep calling boxing a niche sport? It's not a niche sport. It makes over $1 billion. That's why Zuffa in it. That's why there's over 10 networks that has boxing. So if it was a niche sport, it wouldn't have all those networks behind it. It won't be a multi-billion-dollar company. Industry. So it's not a niche sport. And boxing has over 100 games. Niche sports do not have over 100 games. I'm talking about different kinds of boxing games. So that means it's not niche, but this is how the industry try to make it seem. They try to make it seem like it's a niche sport so they don't have to do more. So what y'all think? What's y'all feedback on that?
I think that survey specifically. So, do you want a survey for like Steel City essentially?
It's for Steel City, but being that it's a third party, that means another company. They get a company to make the survey, and then when the company makes the survey, they monitor the survey and they give us results, public results. So Steel City can't frame it. And what I mean by framing is they can say, well, this is what y'all wanted. Nah, that ain't what we're seeing on this on the public results. That's not what they say we want. So that we get to see that and other companies get to see that. You see how I'm trying to do that? Yeah. Other companies get to see the results. So they say, all right, we see what you're talking about now. We ain't got to invest money in all this stuff. A lot of these jokes, I'm like, why are they like, they're not wanting, they like, because Steel City is the one that's actually making a game. If we put a survey out there, that means we're committing to, like, we're making a game. So now we're going to get bombarded by all these people saying, oh, they're making a game. But if y'all not saying the right things in that survey, they're not going to make it.
So you don't think that makes sense to y'all? You don't think that Steel City already has that type of data right now?
Nah. I'm going by like I tell y'all, I used to be a community senior moderator. And what we call what they had in that Discord, we call that noise because people, everybody will say something and it goes to the bottom. Say something, go to the bottom. You know what that guy Steve was doing? That's what I was doing. I was like writing down everything everybody was saying so it doesn't fall to the bottom. And I kept sending it to him. Jay Shep started doing it, then he stopped. So my thing is, are they gonna keep the old data, or they just made Steve seem like he was doing something and then didn't really keep up with it, or what? But my thing is, I'd rather have this third party survey so we could say, hey, we got a receipt. I'd rather have the receipt with everybody like, yeah, look, it's like 90% of the people said this and 50% of the people said that, you know, just to see something in context, even if they show us something. Because it to me, it helps them. It helps them too.
I just feel like when it comes to like data, they have all the data that they need, to be honest. Like they have more than enough data from the last 2 years compiled up. Because I mean, like I said, like I know you don't think much of it as a survey, but they did that whole social media poll, yeah, stuff. But they also did it where you would go into their link and then you would let them know how you feel about the state of the game, what they needed to work on, how you felt about the mechanics and everything like that. And then they gave you a long like a segue basically of where you could write your thoughts of how you felt about the game in its entirety. And I feel like this is the one company that doesn't really need data because all their data right now that sets them up for realistically the next game because it points at the fact that they did so much wrong that realistically you've got all the answers and questions to the test that you can just use basically for the next iteration of the undisputed game. Because for me, I feel like you can't keep doing surveys and stuff like that and then being like, okay, well, we failed to meet expectations. Because then nobody's going to buy the next game. Because at that point, you're just proving to the community that you're doing all these surveys just basically as to save face. And I feel like them doing another survey, it doesn't do anything for the community because the community has been very, very loud for years now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. I think what I try to preach to people through my content is I try to tell them like it's okay to be upset, but I try to preach to them and get them to see that like there's two points of view. There's the community slash fan base side of it, and then there's the business side of it. So it has to make in order to get Steel City to do something, you have to make it make sense business wise. Because if it doesn't make business sense to them, then they're not going to do it because
That's
they
the
want to
data.
benefit. That's the data, right? So they've collected all the data, and I agree with Imani. They have all the data. They know where they went wrong. Now, where it's going to benefit the community, and the community is really going to pay attention, is to not only how is Undisputed 2 made, how active Steel City is, have they learned from their mistakes? Did they learn first of all not to put the game for offline gameplay? Did they learn to make it for online and then work their way towards offline? Are they listening to the community? Are they interacting with the community? Are they having these long layoffs of not saying anything to their player base? Because if that continues, then Undisputed 3 will never happen because the player base will be lost. The player base is really just holding on hope for the fact that, hey, this is your first game. We'll give you guys a little bit of leeway, even though we're going to harp on you, which is deserved. It's deserving, right? But we're going to harp on you and see if you can make the adjustments that we're asking you to make. And if you can make them, then we'll continue to support it. If you don't, then that's how games die, right? Normally games get 2 iterations before they're done.
Yeah. I got to correct you on something. The offline part, Games are built offline first, and then they're put online. You said get the online fix first, and then the offline. Games are built. I'm not going off of like a fan or anything. I'm going off of experience. I know a lot of y'all don't believe, hey, Poe, you're just guessing stuff. No, I was behind that curtain. I was behind that curtain of development, and I asked a lot of questions. But games are built offline first, and then they put them online. Everything.
Then the question would be, what, in your opinion, since you know, right? What
Yes.
went wrong with them for the fact that there was so much deseek in the game?
The game, I mean, it's the coding. It's
Okay,
it's
so
it's
and
how
that's why I'm just repeating to you what Ash said, which was,
yeah,
Ash said there was something in the coding that we messed up, that we should have put it for online, that we made for offline, and that's why we have so much desync.
yeah.
So
But
that's what I'm referring to.
I know what you're saying, but as talking slick, that didn't make a lot of stuff he was saying. I was like, that don't make no sense. Like even when he say certain words, when he say balance, ask anybody that listen to my show. When he say balance, I cringe because I know what he mean when he say balance. It's like with the industry, I know all the words because I've been doing this forever almost. Look at me, I'm old. I'm an older guy, and I've been in the gaming industry forever. Not in the gaming industry itself, but gaming forever. But yeah, when he say balance and he say certain words, I say, oh, them cold words. I know them words. I remember the EA developers used to say that to me. And that's another thing I be telling people. I had access to them. I had access to the EA devs all the time. I have access to them. Like I was trying to get Brizzle on here. He said, nah, Poe. He said, I'm gonna have to respectfully decline. Because he know how I do. Because I end up making him say something he ain't supposed to say, and he don't want to mess up his friendship with EA, even though they departed. I think because Brizzle left EA because he kept wanting to make another boxing game. The last thing I heard him talk about before he left EA, it said, yo, man, because I said, yo, man, what's up with y'all making a fight now? I said, it'll be the best time. I said, because this, I told him when Undisputed was announced. And I said, yo, look, and he was excited. He said, yo, I think we're about to make a boxing game. Because he said, if EA see this and this game is successful, we're going to make a boxing game. And Undisputed was doing good. It sold that over 1 million copies in 1 week. But the thing is, you got to keep them numbers up for at least a month or 90 days. And Steel City, the numbers dropped like after, I think, 2 weeks. And he said, yo, they didn't like the numbers. They didn't like the numbers. What's going on with Steel City? I said, I don't know. I said, I don't work for them. I don't know what happened. I said, the game ain't what a lot of people expected, and I guess that's why they didn't bother. I mean, they're not supporting it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what I encourage people to do is do your research. You know what I mean? Like look
Yeah,
up the stuff for yourself. Because I mean, it's one thing for me to say something. It's one thing for you to say something. We got
yeah,
platforms.
yeah.
We got platforms, but don't just believe us. Go and do the research on your own. Figure out things on your own, and make your own opinions based off of stuff that you see. Because that's what I don't like. That's not what I don't like, but that's what I've tried so hard to avoid with my platform, is trying to tell people how they should view something, or like how this is how this really works. Like, nah, go and do your research. Like if you
Yeah,
look through it,
100%.
you ask the right questions to people, you'll be able to find things out on your own without needing
Yup,
to have the buffer of the
yup,
content creators. You know what I mean?
yup,
So,
100%. I tell
but
them
but
all the time. I say, you could go on LinkedIn. A lot of them developers will talk to you. A lot of them developers will talk to you 100%.
do they have a chat in there, like a group chat or something on LinkedIn?
they have group chats in some of the like the indie companies and stuff like that, but like the major, every once in a blue moon you get one of the major developers that pops in there just to, you know, give some type of feedback about certain things. But I just contact them, or you know, I friend them, or someone friend me because I got EA that I used to be a moderator for me, and they just friend me. And then they start talking to me, just like the EA developer that wanted to do an interview, and EA blocked them from doing that. They blocked them, and I know why they blocked them too. They say, "Nah, you will not be letting Poe trick you into giving out any information that you're not supposed to." Because before he was like being real. He was like, "Yeah," he said, I'm gonna do this interview." I said, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah." Then he got quiet. I said, I know what happened. I knew what happened.
Yeah, that's the way it be, and that's why heading into like Undisputed 2, I was telling Imani, for as much as I was pushing to be part of the team, the Steel City team, I don't I don't like the I don't like people telling me what I can and can't talk about on my channel. So it'll
Yeah,
it'll probably never happen that, I mean, all if they want to do like a business venture or something like that, but I'm not gonna sign no NDA to be a part of Steel
yeah,
City or EA. Like I'm just gonna, you know,
yeah.
it's gotta go both ways because I'm not trying to stifle my own content.
See, you think like me. That's exactly what I used to say. I used to say that to every developer that I ever dealt with. When I was with Round for Round, I said, you can't tell me what I want. When the guy that was Showbiz was with, for when they was doing that game, he wanted me to be a part of the team. I said, you can't. I said, nobody could tell me what I could say or how I feel. I said, if I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you. I said, I did it to EA. I did it to every company. Me and Round for Round, we used to argue all the time. That's one of the reasons I left. I knew that game was gonna fail.
Yeah,
I
but
knew that game.
for me, it's about what I can tell people. Like it's not.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one thing, you know, to be part of a team, and I get that aspect of it.
yeah,
But what I tell, and that's why a lot of people they be trying to get on my ass about it, low key. But I'm like, yo, anytime I find out any information that I'm releasing in my content, it's because I heard it from somewhere. I don't pop up with content and videos and stuff like that, just pulling stuff out of thin air. If I'm telling you, it's because I heard it from a credible source that it could happen. If it don't end up happening, it don't end up happening. That's just the nature of the beast. But
yeah.
I don't want to be stifled by
I'm
people
glad you
telling me
said
like
that
that on
though.
no.
Glad you said it because a lot of people like, man, oh man, Crooks. I'm scared to click on this. I was like, yo, go ahead, man, just click on it. A lot of people said that. I like, nah, man, go ahead, click on it, man. No, I'm scared, man. Crook,
Yeah, but
I
this
said,
community be
I
tripping
said,
all the time.
I said, listen to what he said, because you literally be saying it. You literally be telling them you don't know if it's is true. You're just going by what you hear from the person.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean I get it because everybody wants stuff to be confirmed by
Yeah,
the main source, which is obviously the game developers themselves. But we know how slow they are to release information, even on stuff that we know is coming. You
yeah,
know, like how long between Tio telling us that he was going to be part of the takeover, what ended up being the takeover pack, to Steel City saying that they were going to release it. There was like a month or a month and a half between him saying that on Kick to them actually announcing it. So it's like they announce it in their due time. But I want people to not only know the information but to think about it and then give their feedback. That's more what my content is about. I'm gonna give you the information and then I want you guys to think about it and then formulate your own opinions and let me know, because I know that they look at my comment
yeah,
sections of my videos and stuff like that. So it's like they're getting feedback through your comments as well. So I'm dropping the information, you're giving me the feedback, and then they're looking at the feedback that you're giving me, and that's the way of being heard. So
yeah. Yeah, I understand that. So, what you think? Did you see the post by Mike Carpenter? I talked about it earlier.
Yeah, the fight night post. I did see that this morning. That
Yeah.
somebody had posted up
What you
like
think?
what's one game that if you could bring it back, and he was like fight night. I think it's because it's nostalgic for him. I think it was more of a nostalgic answer than a shot at Undisputed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it's great that the boxing media is saying things like that because he works for Zuffa, and I didn't know that part. He worked
Well,
for
yeah,
the Zone.
that's why he's part of that Inside the Ring podcast that they do. That's why he's part of that. All those guys
Yeah,
up there work for Zuffa or work for the
yeah.
Ring, which is in part with Zuffa too. So they cover
Yeah.
everything.
So I said, hold up. I said, is they talking about it? Because Dana White has a lot to do with not the undisputed, the UFC 6 and stuff like that. So are we gonna have a boxing game come right after that in the Zuffa? And not like I always be telling them, it makes sense because the boxing game can help promote your product, help promote what Zuffa is, and it
Yeah.
makes them have more fans.
The only thing with Zuffa Boxing is number one, their roster isn't. They don't have any stars to sell on their roster right now, other than Jael Pataya and Connor Ben. But I mean, they need to build. So I would say they would need to build some homegrown stars before they got into like just creating their own Zuffa Boxing game. But I could definitely see it being a part of a fight night, like a big pushing point for a fight night.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the trouble too that I don't think people necessarily see is with EA Sports being in bed with with Zuffa and TKO with UFC. How is that gonna translate over to a fight night game where you don't want fight night to be Zuffa Boxing. You want it to be a fight night where you can get the other sanctioning bodies to allow you to have their fighters in there too. So that could potentially be a little bit of an issue as well, but I don't know.
Yeah, but with Zuf, this is why I keep telling people, and I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like when I say this, but I think a game with great mechanics and no real boxes could still outsell a boxing game with real. Because this we got to make sense of this and be honest. How many boxers do casual fans know? If there's let's say there's 300 real boxers, popular boxers and all, boxers that like from every century, 300. How many of them boxers do casual fans know? No more than 10. And that's being generous. No more than 10.
Mm,
I don't think that it would sell. I think it would have to build some kind of rapport. But I don't think that a first iteration of the game would sell more than a undisputed. Like they would have
Zuffa
to
Boxing?
actually. Hmm?
Oh,
Mechanics.
okay.
If
Mechanics.
Victorious boxers came out right now, it would also undisputed. Victorious
I don't
boxers
think so.
right now. You really don't? I do.
If what came out?
Victorious that if the Victorious boxers that we know came out right now, I think it would do better than undisputed. And it's hard for me to even say that, but they do a lot of things right, even though some of the stuff is super arcadey. They do a lot of things right in that game. It has a story mode that
Um,
fleshed out and everything.
I don't know. I don't
Me-
know. I don't know
Mechanics,
because gameplay mechanics in all seriousness and reality, they don't sell games. What sells games is the boxers, people going in and being able to play with the people that they either grew up watching or that they love watching now. That's why people push so hard for
that's what
Javante
me
and
and
Shakur and all
you
of them in the game.
want. That's what me and you want. We going off of what we feel. But the DLC didn't sell that well. If you ask, you notice they don't talk about the most companies, and this what brought to my attention. Most companies, when DLC sells well, they talk about it. They keep pushing out DLC. Now they got to recalibrate what DLC they're going to. That's why it's going to be a big DLC coming up. Now they had to recalibrate Now they're gonna probably give it somebody that they didn't really want to, and they was gonna probably save it for another game. But they're gonna probably give us 2 or 3 people that they were saving for the next game.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you, but on a different perspective, right? So the DLCs didn't sell very well because they would maybe push one boxer a pack that people really, really wanted. So that's why they didn't really sell. Because I mean, if you look at the Iron and Steel pack, which is the Klitschko brothers, were the main boxers in that pack. Not the Klitschko's are not as popular as they were in the early 2000s when they were on their runs, right? When they were on their reigns. So that's not really. I would say probably the most one that sold the most was Manny Pacquiao's, because Manny Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao. He's a global superstar, and he's still doing his thing today. So I feel like if they would have added some of the newer boxers, like let's say if they would have put a Shakur in a pack, people would have that pack would have sold extraordinarily well because he's a popular fighter. If they put Ryan Garcia in a pack, that's why. But unfortunately, obviously, he was in the game prior, so they had to make him free. But if you were to put Ryan Garcia, or you put Gervonta in a pack, that pack would sell really well. Or there's plenty of other boxers, Moses Saitama, or like guys that are super popular now. They just weren't pushed in packs, so I don't think that's why I think
You
that's why they
think
didn't sell very well.
you think if they put Ben Davis in the game right now, the game would sell? I mean, they were selling the pack would sell well.
If they put who in there?
Ben Davis. I mean Ben Whitaker.
Ben Whitaker, I would say his wouldn't sell more than other people's because of the fact of he's like a verging on the verge superstar. Now, if you were to compare him to like a Gervonta Davis, like if you put Gervonta Davis in a pack right now, people would buy it.
But you know
And
what? You know why it's not going. I think it's not going to sell, especially to a boxing fan and some of the so-called casuals, because is he going to fight like himself? And we're going to be able to use him, or we're going to challenge ourselves like him? Yeah, somebody else controlling him, they could force him to fight like himself. But is he going to fight like himself? Now we're just dealing with just a character with Gervonta name. But do he have his style? Because like they saying, only certain boxers going to have their style. And they only going to give him a little enough so you can say that's him.
well, and that's where why I said what I said about game mechanics and like
Yeah.
because really only the hardcore boxing fans really push for that. Like myself, people that watch boxing on the regular, which you'd be surprised. There's guys that are up on the top 100 list, and people that are heavy, play undisputed heavy, that never even watch boxing.
Yeah.
So they don't. A lot of people. It would surprise you how many people don't really care about boxers feeling realistic. Which whether it's right or wrong, that's people's opinion. I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, it is what it is. I
That's
respect
how the
it.
game designed. It's
So if
designed to
people,
play like
so
that.
if they were to drop Gervonta Davis just with his likeness, people would buy it because they're like, oh, I'm gonna play as Gervonta. I don't care if he doesn't lunge in, which Gervonta would be a person that would suffer like Sean Porter suffers, right? Because they
And he
have
said it.
explosive lunging in movements.
Yeah, he said it. He
So
said his character. But I'm like I said, I sent a post to him. I said, you should be saying, you should be telling them, like with was Tommy the Duke Morrison wife. She telling me to tell Ash. I said, no, that's your husband. You tell Ash Habib that Tommy the Duke Morrison doesn't fight like himself. He don't even really look like himself that much to me. I'm a critique because I'm an artist. I went to art school. So he don't look like me. To a person that's not an artist, they're gonna say, well, he look like Tommy Duke enough. He look like Tommy Duke Morris. He got the same hair color, but he don't look like him to me.
which is
Stylist, whatever.
which is fair, but to get back kind of to the main point, like people, Gervonta would sell. He would sell really, really well in a DLC pack because it's just his likeness, the fact that he looks like him, the fact that their graphics. would make him look like himself. It would sell, and that's really where, when I tell people about, if you want to make a dent, that's the community that would make the dent. The casuals, the people that just would buy the DLC packs, if they stopped and were just like, hey, we want to do this, and they all just stopped doing, then Steel City would be pushed to do something. But the hardcore community, unfortunately, only makes up a certain percentage of the player base. So
But that's where data come from. That go back to my data. They keep saying that, but I disagree when it comes to sports games. We keep using the same logic for other games for sports games. Sports games have a, from what I heard, that it's more sports fans than they keep giving us credit for.
well,
But
here,
we
here's
need data.
it's like I was telling Amani, right? So we were actually having this discussion yesterday. Um, I come from the UFC franchise, right, which is another sports
Yes.
game. So I used to be in a camp with two or three of the game changers for EA Sports UFC, and I remember telling them the same thing, like, why aren't they giving us the changes? And he told me, one of them sat me down. I'm not gonna name his name, but he sat me down and he was like, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I asked him to give me some of the numbers just for UFC, not for Undisputed. He was like, do you know that the online community makes up 10% of the people that actually play the game? That 10% of the community is the people that play online. So maybe 5 to 6% of them are the hardcore players. He was like, so 85 to 90% are people that play career mode, that play offline. Those that makes up a majority of the player base are people that play offline.
Yeah.
So when we're boycotting, or we're asking, or we're pushing and saying, and in his words, complaining about things, the reason why they're not getting through is because it doesn't make business sense for EA Sports to go and address 10% of the base, but piss off the other 80%, the other 90%. So that's why I'm saying we gotta the casual fan base are gonna be the people that make the change. So if you're gonna try to get somebody to change, you gotta convince the casual fans to want to push the change that the hardcore fans want, which normally casual fans don't care about it.
But you
So
think the offline fan base are casual?
the offline fan bases are casual.
Yeah. Do you think they casual? Because that's what that's what I think you're saying. I'm not understanding what
No,
you're
no,
saying.
no, no, no. I'm not saying the offline all of the offline player base are casuals, because there's probably a good percentage of them, or a percentage of them, that watch boxing heavy and that are boxing enthusiasts. But boxing enthusiasts like ourselves, people that watch boxing constantly, I would say a majority of them don't watch it on the regular. And that's just an honest opinion.
Yeah, but most of the people that I know that's like like me, we're not playing online because of the it's toxic, and we want to do career modes and do different things because of the online. In the beginning, yeah, I was playing online. Then I see how toxic and how broken the game was. I stopped playing.
Yeah,
I
and
see.
that's understandable, and I see it that way. But what I try to get people to see, and what I'm trying to get right now, is a majority of the player base that has Undisputed are not boxing heads. They're not people that watch boxing all the time as much as, like, boxing. They're not boxing enthusiasts. Not saying that all of them are that way, but a large percentage of the people that bought Undisputed watch boxing super heavy. They'll watch their favorite boxers when they box, like Canelo or Terrence,
Yeah,
or whoever they like, but they're not really like, hey, like, oh, I wonder if Ryan Garcia fights the same way as Jaime Munguia. They probably don't even know who Jaime Munguia is. So it's like, you know there's a lot of people that really just aren't boxing enthusiasts, and that really don't see the need to push these changes, and that's more of what I'm trying to get at.
yeah, okay. Yeah, because it's just like I don't know how the Steel City is going to accomplish anything when they're trying to like you're going to pick one side, and my thing is you can't pick one side. It got to have options. Some people say no, we should have a hardcore mode. No, we should have a hybrid mode. No, we should have arcade mode. No, we should have options for all of those. What do you how you feel about that?
About the options.
Yeah,
Um, I agree with it. Uh, Here coming from the UFC side of things and having a perspective on both. I think more of what the from what I've heard and from what when I'm in the undisputed community talking to people that play the game at a competitive level and talking to people that play on ranked and all that stuff. I feel like overall people just want the game to function the way that it's supposed to. The number one thing that I've heard people say is, desync. If desync wasn't a thing, the game would be bearable because we could work around our options to work around spam and stuff like that would be more viable. So in terms of do I want there to be options? Yeah, I think that there should be options. I think, if you want to be on quick fight and you're just wanting to play online without the pressure of, having to compete and be, sweaty, as we would say, you should have that option. But, there should be rank should be a place where you're competitive. So I agree with you that there should be a lot of the player base should have their options of what they want to do.
yeah, because in this day and age, every sports game have it except for undisputed. And another thing is sliders. Why don't we have sliders in undisputed? In this era, we have sliders. We literally could control, how we want to, our boxers. Like if you're creating boxers and stuff like that, that's crazy in this day and age.
Well, are you talking about sliders for offline gameplay or for online?
It should be for both because even on online, there should be agreement, a thing like a contract thing, where y'all agreed to playing with certain styles of things.
Yeah, I would caution to be careful with sliders for online because that was something that EA got caught up in a while back. Was they would have what they call DDA, which is dynamic difficulty adjustment
Hmm.
in online games. And what it started to do was, and people started to pick up on it, the player base, by people I mean player base, started to pick up on, well, and this was really prevalent in Madden, that, oh well, certain players, defensive players would get off blocks quicker than other their opponent's defensive players because they were adjusting the game sliders. So we just got to be careful with implementing something like that for online gameplay because you don't want it to start to skew
Result.
against high level players.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think, Aaron? You've been quiet.
I mean, yeah, that would be fine. I talked to you about the sliders offline. I agree with the sliders offline. I think that's um I think that's reasonable, especially if you're going to look at boxing as a sport and you're wanting to represent it the way that it's intended to be. Yeah, you should have sliders offline, like 2K does. Um,
You don't think
online,
there should be
I
a
mean,
contract system for online?
that would be an interesting system. I don't know how they're gonna implement that, but that would be cool. I wouldn't mind that if they had that kind of system implementation. I just don't know how they would add it.
Mm. All right, I got a script for it. I'll show it to you. I already got it set up. Already got it. I'll be doing blueprints and everything. When people be saying, "Poe, nah, man, I got the script for it. I got the script for it. Blueprints for everything.
No, I mean,
Everything.
I'm
Whistling.
open to a lot of ideas and stuff like that, that adds to,
Yeah,
because a lot of people, they want that, what is that word? That they want that aesthetic, that atmosphere
yeah,
type of stuff to make it
yeah,
more realistic to them and stuff like that. Like I'm open to stuff like that. I think, that's cool for, people who are really, really into that sort of thing. Me, I just want to box. Like I just, like I just want to get straight to the point. So for me, it probably wouldn't be something I necessarily would actually do. But of course, I also want everybody who bought the same thing to receive the same amount of enjoyment as I would if it lived up to my expectations. So I
yeah,
mean, I'm always for people having what they want and the game performing to the standard of how they feel.
yeah. Because the contract system is literally you. It's like it's nothing like it's just like the rules. Like basically, hey, these the rules we're playing by. You got to agree to them or not. Hey, I don't want them rules. All right. We both agree that this is not what we're going to use. That type. It's basically league, but it's already implemented like as in the game instead of you just saying you can't do this and not do that. So it's basically the contract system creates a league system if that's what you want. If y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd
because
be fun. I mean, but I mean, personally, like I said before, I just want to box. Like I've never when it comes to sports games, I've always been online person. But like, when you have like there's certain games that I play online, and there's certain games that I specifically just play offline, like 2K and stuff like that. So
yeah,
for me personally, like, whatever works for anybody, I'm always open to. But of course, I have my own strong opinions if it's something that I really, really believe in. And for this, like stuff like this, like anything that helps the community and stuff like that and give them what they want, I'm all for it, especially if it's more towards the realism side of things. But I don't want, for me personally, I don't want a game where I feel like I have to play a league in order for it to be played the way that it's intended. To be honest,
yeah. But you don't think it should be an option for that? Because I'm not for the leagues either, but the options.
I think that yeah, that's fine for them to be options, of course. But what I'm saying is like you have a lot of people who play games, and of course, game is supposed to be relief. It's supposed to be like something, that gives you relaxation. It's not supposed to be something stressful. Sometimes people just want to pick up their controller and, jump into a game. But like, I don't want something where it's like the what I expect out of the game isn't what's actually happening. And I have to look for a league in order to actually find a little sentiment of what I'm searching for. I just feel like at that point, it just kind of takes away. It just takes away from it.
Yeah. Hey fellas, I gotta take off, but
I
it was cool. I
appreciate you,
appreciate you
man.
having me on here, Poe. Appreciate you, bro. We'll have to do it again.
Appreciate you, man. Salute.
Take it easy, crooks. But yeah, I
Crook,
agree.
Crook said left the house. That was unexpected, but it was
Yeah,
needed. It was
yeah.
needed.
It's always good whenever they come
Yeah,
and end up on the podcast. That's always great.
yeah. It messed up me on finishing what I was going to talk about, but no, I enjoyed what was going on. Um, yeah, but my thing again, what I want to talk about is fans having like no, I kind of see the whole thing about the fan base because he kind of agreed with what I was saying. Now that I'm listening, because he was saying that the offline, but he made it towards the UFC. He
No, I
said,
mean that's a general thing. His was more
yeah,
of a general consensus. What he's saying is like, are you talking about whenever he was talking about the point of casual?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a huge portion of casuals in the undisputed community, and that's
yeah,
online and
undisputed,
offline,
yeah,
and yeah,
undisputed. But
yeah. So it's
but he
not
was
like
talking
a
about where UFC is like more like he is using 2K. He said more hardcore fans is playing offline, and he's using that example. So I'm like, so does that example translate to just that game?
no. It
You
translates
know,
everywhere and
yeah,
in
but
any game.
and that's what I'm talking about with data. See, when you do the survey, that's when you see like which fan base likes what and which fan base likes, just by what Steel City collects. Let's say that they did collect data, but they still don't know which fan base plays what. And that's what a survey does. A survey lets you know what fan base play offline the most, what fan base plays online the most. But it's still, and my thing is, they keep saying that they get, and this is what Ash said. He said they make their money from online. You don't make your money from online because that same content that people purchase online, they're using offline. So you making money off of both online and offline. So that's a myth. What you think? Does that make sense, or I'm reaching?
I mean, I think that they make their money from both. I don't really know what the
Exactly.
numbers would be on
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. It makes
I w-
it.
I wouldn't know what the numbers specifically would be of that, but I think honestly, especially in undisputed, um, they probably don't make a lot of money offline just because of how bad offline is in general. But online, yeah, I'd say when it comes to online and offline, you make your money from both. But of course, there's
Yeah,
gonna be a certain percentage that caters towards one more than the other.
yeah. But guess what? You keep saying, yeah, I don't know the numbers that, and you trying to think. But guess, yeah, you know I'm getting with this. A survey will
Oh my
a
god!
survey will let you
But they've
know.
got all the data. Is the problem?
They
Like
don't
a
got the
survey?
data for that. They
A
don't got the data for who plays the most offline to online.
They do have a data for that because do you know how many offline people are in the Discord specifically? There's a lot of people offline in the Discord that advocate what the game needs. Like they had a bunch of what do you call it? They had a bunch of suggestions and stuff like that of like what the offline mode needed more of. So they have a lot of data points because it got a lot of likes and stuff like that from the Discord community because we all know, even as online players, we all know that offline is suffering. But of course, online is so bad that it's like our bad or your bad is our good at this point. That's how bad the state of online
Yeah,
is. Like
it
there's
is.
no enjoyment out of online. There's no emulation that suffices enough for it to be considered a good experience. And that's why I was saying, like, of course, you're gonna wanna just be able to pick up a video game and just be able to play. But if it's not gonna do the what you expect it to do, you're gonna be less privy to play it. Just like offline and online, it doesn't make a difference whether it's either or. At the end of the day, you want to play the game that you bought. And if it doesn't fit your criteria, then it's never going to suffice. And for this game, you have both portions where online and offline they're both horrible. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that's a data point. The experience for both has been horrible because, for instance, offline they feel like, okay, well, it's good enough to box, so why don't we focus more on the aesthetics, the atmosphere? Online is like, we just want to be able to box. We can't
Yeah.
even do that because we got desync, we got outside arenas where you can't even really have all the people in the game because it causes more desync. If you faint, you get desync. If you're in loose movement, you get desync. Like all these things that basically you're supposed to do to be able to play the game the way it was intended, and you
Yeah.
can't even do it.
But that's what they get with that loose foot movement. Good for them. Because everybody should be doing loose foot movement.
I've been said that since like
That's
last year.
disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
Because I mean, you got Jelly Bean over here, Butterbean, freaking doing loose foot movement,
Yeah,
jiggle physics, and all around the ring. Looks crazy as heck. I mean, yeah, of course you want authenticity to the boxer, but the problem is at the end of the day, you don't even have the basics and the fundamentals correct. So how can I expect for them to even have uh characteristics and traits, mannerisms of what makes that boxer who they are and what makes them loved and admired? I can't expect them to even do something like that because they don't have fundamentals and basics when it comes to boxing down
yeah.
mechanically.
This is something I had to keep myself from because I didn't want to get on Crooks. Because Crooks love DLC. And I was about to challenge him. I said, nah, let him live.
Mm.
But the reason why the DLC don't sell because only one character fights, the marquee fighter. That's why the DLC don't sell. All
What
the
do you mean?
boxes don't fight like themselves.
Oh.
Too many of the boxes fight alike. That's
I
why
mean,
the
yeah.
DLC don't sell. What'd you say?
I mean, yeah, but you don't know that until you buy the DLC. So that's not necessarily the full reasoning. The DLC is not selling well specifically just because whether it's lack of marketing and promotion, like it's also just the state of the game as whole. Like we have to get to the point where it's like it's not even just all analytics. Just look at the state of the game and you can
Yeah.
see exactly why people won't buy DLC because they're not even playing the game anymore. Like there's no reasoning to keep investing money into something that is only going to hold you over for about a day or two, and then you're like, I can't play this game anymore because
All right.
it's not what I want.
All right, now check this out. This is something I asked Crooks. Now I'm gonna ask you. How long do you think it will last before? Like, if they say we're releasing the DLC pack, how long would that last?
It depends on the boxers, but I would say honestly, probably about a month.
Exactly. That's why Cook said 6 months. I
No,
was like,
I
that
get,
was a reach. That was a reach.
yeah, that I didn't agree with, but I
Yeah, I
think
didn't
possibly
agree with
a month,
I
just
think a
because
month.
when you look at it, like when we had the Terrence Crawford Bud pack, a lot of people were there, but you want to know the main reasoning as to why people started playing the game again? Because crossplay was available. But
That's
other than
exactly
that, like it was like Bud fights the same. He does
yeah.
not have any kind of anything special, which you would think because he was there at the time of being in Las Vegas for that whole Canelo and Bud event and stuff like that, and Steel City was there too. Like
Yeah.
you would think that they would, do some more mocap work, detailed animations for his character render. But of course, Bud is he's as basic as it gets in the game. So now you're bringing another iteration that's even more basic, just different attributes and another weight class. So realistically, the main reasoning as to why people had even started playing and getting back on the game was because one, there was an update. Two, they were going to see if it worked and if it was decent enough. And three, which was probably the biggest reasoning out of all of them, was because of it being crossplay. After that, the problem became you can't even really play crossplay because it causes more desync.
Yeah. Especially what they said PC is you could do more and you could cheat more on PC.
Yeah, that's why everybody always says just make it console only crossplay, not PC.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see. Leafy said gameplay mechanics and online needs to be tip top priorities
I
for
agree.
Undisputed.
I agree.
Undisputed should feel like a real boxing game and force you to box. What you mean it should be a priority? What do you mean by it should be a priority? Don't start no junk here. Let me see.
I mean, at this point, the only priority is the fact that they're making another one.
Yeah. What's up, Leaf? What you mean online? And let me see. Let me read it exactly the way you said it. Let me see. Let me see this. Gameplay mechanics and online needs to be tip-top priorities for Undisputed 2. What you mean by online?
Well, I feel like the
Need to
offline experience
Be a
is like
priority.
it's already good and it's smooth, but a lot of people would play online for the competitive side of the game. Like a lot of people like the online, but right now in Undisputed 1, it's really laggy. It has desync. It doesn't really feel good. So I feel like they need to prioritize the online aspect, like for Undisputed 2. Like really make sure there's like rollback netcode. Really enforce
Yeah.
like systems to like not have cheaters in the game. Stuff like that. Because the offline for me, it's good on Undisputed 1. But they should move to
Yeah.
focusing really heavily on online, like making that because a lot of people nowadays like to play online, and that should be like a big ecosystem. Have it more interactive, if you will.
See, now you got me being defensive because to me, like I was saying earlier, a game is built offline for online. If you got a good offline, you should supposed to have a good online. That's how the game development go. From my understanding, they say if you get a good offline, then you put it online. So that's your ecosystem. Anything else that happens after that, that means that you had bad mistakes going into it being online. And I
Yeah.
don't think the online is good because everybody keeps saying the offline is not that good. It's just bearable. It's okay. Like
Yeah.
it's like if you compare that offline to the Fight Night Champion offline, the modes and everything that they got, it's a totally different. Fight Night Champion wins.
Yeah. No, it has like the
Fight
bare
Night,
knuckle modes. It has
yeah.
the story
And
mode
they
and
got like
career.
all these different things, these challenges that you do, these things,
Yeah.
sponsorships and stuff like that. And
Sliders. Like really in
sliders.
depth sliders.
Yeah, Poe, he pushed for the sliders. And my thing is, yeah, I don't know. It's just hard for me to think about what Steel City is gonna do. What is
Yeah.
their foot? My thing is I'm all right, long as I know the vision. What is y'all gonna do? Like, hey, we're gonna work on we're gonna focus online. All right, I know if I'm a support it or not. If it's a great game, yeah, I might play online. But let us know your vision. Is it gonna be hardcore? Is it gonna be arcade? Is it gonna be online? Let us know these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope they go back to hardcore leaning because they really changed it like
Yeah,
halfway through and now it's like super bad. Like they went from hardcore and then halfway through now it's like casual friendly, but you were working off of a hardcore foundation, so now it feels like garbage. So
yeah,
hopefully they just have one vision and they stick with it all the way through and they don't
yeah.
change it. So on full release, it feels good, plays great. We can box, all sorts of stuff. And don't add a casual mode. Just make it one hardcore mode, please. Like don't split the player base by going casual and hardcore. Force everyone to play hardcore. I do not care. I do not
Dad,
care
you
if you
doing
like
the beast
Smash.
mode. That's what Beast be saying. Beast said, man, bump that, man. They only need one mode. They gotta learn. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
man.
please.
I agree that they have to learn. They have to learn how to box. We can't cater to people that play boxing games like it's Super Smash Brothers. No, I don't think so, buddy. You're gonna play hardcore and you're gonna like it.
You trying to say something, Aaron?
No, I was laughing at him because it's like I said before. At the end of the day, I agree. If you don't want to have a casual mode, don't have a casual mode. But also have enough, guts to be able to stick with your vision.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, at the end of the day, it's still going to be trash.
Yeah.
And then, like I said before, you're going to have those people who are not going to play the game the way that it's intended. There's always going to be that philosophy, but of course, that's the dev's job when it comes to also being able to, when people try to exploit the game and do dumb crap, you give them methods of you give people methods of ways to be able to counter that and be able to punish those mistakes and stuff like that. That way, people don't keep playing like that because they're going to realize, oh, I'm that much more susceptible to being knocked out. I'm that much more susceptible to paying for mistakes that I'm repeatedly doing because I think that it's boxing. No, that's not boxing. Jabbing 4 or 5 times to the stomach and then throwing a overhand right, that's not boxing at all. But you see it in this game right now. You find a way to implement something that's going to make people have repercussions for playing that kind of style because it's archaic, but you're going to have those people who are going to come to the game, whether it be Undisputed 2, you're going to have those people who are going to come into the game and they're going to try to figure out every flaw in the game so that they can use that as an advantage.
Yeah, but that's where they need to really be updating the game. Like have it like a live service model. Like don't go free to play because everything that goes free to play, except for Fortnite, miraculously goes to shit. So have it paid. Huh?
You trying to make them say, oh, he talking about free to play. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
No, don't do it. I said no, don't do it. Don't do it.
They ain't gonna do that. They making money. They trying to get as much money as they can.
Ash been living in Miami. Please.
I'm not trying to be
Miami.
I'm not trying to be gross. Ash is at the strip clubs too, man. Sad.
Why y'all keep giving me that vision, man? I don't want to think of Ash bad like that, man.
He is. He's on video doing it. He's on video doing it.
When I saw that, man, didn't you send me that video? Man, I was like, oh, come on, man. I was hoping that it was AI.
No.
I said, why? I said, yo, man, why you gonna do Ash like that? And I kept looking at it. I said, this not AI. I said, oh man, Ash. Really? Ash.
Really? Oh God, that's crazy.
I said, Ash, ain't you Muslim? You know y'all probably doing stuff like that. I said, oh man. Yo, I know his daughter. That's why his daughter was out for you. She was like, yeah, let me get this joke. He was talking about that video too much. He used to mention that video a lot.
I sent it like 4 times in that Discord server, man.
Yeah, she said, I'm gonna get you, but you trying to.
I was like, here's a reminder of what Ash is doing right now instead of fixing the game.
Dude, that's crazy.
He's spending money on people that won't remember him the next day.
Hey, I'm all for people enjoying the fruits of their labor, but a bad product is still a bad product. I know. I agree.
And earn it. You gotta earn that paradise, the luxury of having a lollipop in your mouth and being in the club.
Why you gotta add all the extra? stuff to it, man. I ain't want to even think about that, man. I was already weird. The lollipop part, that's like, God, man, there's too many gangster movies I saw when Jokers did that crazy stuff. Man, it's like being traumatized. Like Ash is like, it's like your childhood hero, and you see him in a negative aspect. I'm like, oh, come on, Ash. Because I was defending Ash for a while. I said, the reality kicks in. It's like start kicking a little by little. I kept blaming it on the team. I kept saying, no, it's the team, it's the team, it's the team. But then my thing was like, he's a grown man.
Yeah.
He's a grown man. I got a son. He's a grown man. My son is 25. So, you know, any mistake he make is on him. It's his decisions. So as
He
grown,
to be held accountable just like all the other devs.
Yeah, like I was up there like, nah, it's Wilkins. I shouldn't have never sent one because still, no matter who you send, it's up to you to take that advice and not.
Yeah.
Because Ash already had his vision, and he kept telling me, and he kept saying it. And I was like, you sure? He said, nobody's changing my vision. If I get publishers or not, they're not going to change my visions. Because he literally broke it down to me. But things changed.
Mm-hmm.
I said, he got him.
I think the biggest nail in the coffin was when he put Tim Koo from EA UK in the vice president position at Steel City.
Oh, Tim Koo. Yeah, that's crazy. That's supposed to be Ash's position.
Yeah, but now he's the vice president.
No, that's supposed to be his brother's position.
Yeah.
Ash's supposed to be the president, and his brother's supposed to have that position. But he put that guy in there. And that was crazy. I'm like, but why did he do that?
He puts monopolies over his family. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. And his brother was in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Assad was in the industry. Because I was talking to Assad.
Does Assad still work at Steel City?
I don't know.
He said, hang on.
What'd you say?
It says, hang on, I'm on the LinkedIn page. It says he's still
he's still a part of the team. It says it, but a lot of the times it say people still on the team that's not there no more.
Yeah. It says he's been a co-founder since 2019. But I don't know. Man.
He probably still collected check or something, but I don't think he like really say anything. Mm-hmm. It's like him and another brother. The other brother, you don't hear nothing about him. I think it's Asif or something like that.
Asaf.
ASIF. Asif. He look like he's like in his 30s. Ash is about him and his brother about my age. They're like old heads. That's why I be telling people, man, you're an old head, man. You shouldn't be playing games. I said, don't you know that most of the developers that's making video games are old heads? Even one of the developers was in the Discord, and I played a mind game on them. I said, some of these developers are young bucks. And he said, Paul, you know, man, you're the same age. Stop playing. And he proved my point. I said, thanks, you proved my point. Because a lot of people keep thinking y'all young.
Hey, Ash should have had you fly out there with Sean Porter.
Ash ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that. Why would Ash do that?
You want the community to believe you? Send Poe with Sean Porter to
right. City. But to me, that would make a great. If you could get one of your worst critics, me or Beast, but I think Beast, they would know.
Oh no!
They're scared of him. They would send Will Kinsler after Beast. They
Yeah,
would
I'm
send
like
Wilkins
the light version. I'm the light version. So you send me out there, and my passion. I think I would make a, but I know the team probably be just like EA used to do. When I went up to EA, everybody came out their office and said, "Where's Poe? Where's Poe?" I said, I'm like, "What's going on right here?" They say, "Oh, that's Poe. That's the joke. He's super critical. That's the guy. He used to keep us on our toes." So that's how what's calling was. That's how I could tell that somebody was in their ear at EA. I mean at Steel City. They like was coming at me hard to get me out of the forums and stuff. But
Yeah, no.
I would love to go up there. My thing was I messed up when I had a chance when they were over in the Madison Square Garden. I could have just caught a train over there just to bump in and be like, "Yo, Ash, what's up, man?"
I think Ash might have ran away from you
Yeah,
if he
he
saw you
probably,
there. He would
he
have been
probably,
like, "Get away from me!"
yeah, he probably got scared of me. He probably got
Yeah.
scared of me. But
Thanks a
I
lot,
think,
Will Kinsler.
yeah, Will probably like, "Oh, there go Poe. Go high, Ash, go high."
It's
Only thing,
inconsequential.
no, and I
It's
know
not
a lot of them.
consequential.
Yeah, I know a lot of them in the boxing industry, so I don't know. That jump would have been weird.
Okay, hang on. If Will Kinsler didn't think Undisputed 1 wasn't consequential in terms of damage, what is he going to control in Undisputed 2? I'm a
Man.
little nervous. Is it going to
Yeah.
be like, "Hey guys, so we added a new fight pass. It adds 50 new creative fighter options like helmets for your fighter. Now you can dress up as a knight and get in the boxing ring.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now
Jump
this is
into the
some
new Undisputed
yeah,
Battle Royale mode.
because he's from that Fortnite crap.
Epic
So
Games.
we
I'm gonna be disappointed if I ever see Will Kinsler announce a Undisputed 2 Battle Royale mode. That'd be sad.
they should do
Inspired by Fortnite and PUBG. Get out of here.
Shoot,
no,
the way that this game is playing now, you might as well do that.
Yeah, no, they're gonna do something like that, man. It's gonna they're gonna do like a battle pass. I mean, they've got emotes in the game, right? I mean,
that's what what's going on
mm-mm.
keeps saying. That's what AJ Pax keeps saying. He said it's look like they're leaning towards with a battle pass, and I'm hoping that's not the case. He said everything look like it's leaning towards a battle pass.
Undisputed 2, I would not put that past them. I'm not gonna lie.
And I
Yeah.
don't want that. I don't
Especially on Unreal Engine. Yeah. I could see it.
Dad, man. Dad. And my thing is, y'all know what I'm thinking. I just hope, because if they do the battle pass and everything, that means everything's gonna be online and esports focused.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna lose a big chunk of their fan base that way. Because
It's just gonna be a cash grab. And honestly, if we think that's bad, wait until EA comes back with Fight Night. They're gonna revive it.
man.
They're gonna
man.
they're gonna say, "Oh, we're listening to the fans. We've got
Yeah,
Brian Hayes back. We've got
yeah.
Ryan Mazik. We've got all these guys. We're gonna make it for the fans. You guys have been asking for it for so long. And then when it drops, it's gonna be free to play. There's gonna be a fight
man.
pass. There's gonna be like unfinished graphics. The mechanics are gonna feel the best out of any Fight Night game. There's gonna be nothing to do though. It's gonna be nothing to do. Mechanics wise, it's gonna be the best out of any Fight Night game ever. And then everything else is gonna fall off.
Daggone. And you know what's funny? I didn't know that Brian Mazik was part of 2K.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. He the one that talked to Ash, because Ash said he was watching me and he was watching my content and stuff. He knew of me, but then he talked to Brian Mazik. I guess he wanted Brian Mazik to come be a part of the team. And Brian Mazik told him about me. He said, "Yo, you should talk to Poe. Poe very passionate. He'll make a good addition to your team." And he let me know. He said, "Yo, I let this guy named Ash Habib know about you. He should be contact you." And I said, "All right, thanks." I said, "Give him my number and stuff." Ash called me and everything. So and that right there, I was like, all right, I'll say, yo, we gonna have a good thing because he talked to Brian Mazik because Brian Mazik is a huge boxing fan. Everything that he's for with for 2K, he was kind of against. He supports everything that 2K is doing.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Well, that's his job, but still, I can't do it. See, that's why it's hard for me to be a part of a game company. And I know me saying this on video messing up for me more and more because companies gonna look at and say, Dad, I wanted to hire this guy. I wanted him to be a part of the team, but he can't stick to the script. He can't accept what we're trying to do. And I even told Ash, used to tell EA that, I used to tell Round for Round that. I said, I still gotta have my opinion. If I don't like something, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, no, that should be an acceptable thing. Like people shouldn't be scared of an opinion because the only way to build up like a good product is to have conflict.
Yeah.
How to have clashing ideas and try to figure out like how you can improve.
Make it, improve it.
Yeah, if you're trying to make people like something that's like not great, then you're not going to improve. If you're going to be lenient, you're not going to improve.
Yeah,
you know,
because that's what Brizzle them like. Well, Brizzle was more so than anybody. That's what he liked about me. I kept the team on the toes because a lot of times they asked me for my opinion to gather data and stuff like that. To gather data. So, you hear that?
I heard you. I just didn't. I didn't respond.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but yeah. So they liked it about me. They liked that I gave them opinions and kept them on their toes. Like I even used to challenge Brizzle. I was like, man, you can add this because they used to always say certain things they can't add. And my thing, I always ask somebody from 2K or another company, and they said that could be added in the game. Then they tell me how it could be added in the game. And then I go back and tell EA, and then they be like, "You right, Paul. You're right. You're right. All right. We'll get you." Because they're saying it was hard for them to add that many boxers in the game, and I said, "No, man." I said, I mean, the created boxers. I said you can add literally as many as you want. It's on y'all. And then he said that he said they figured it out. Yeah, I said y'all ain't figured it out. Y'all just didn't want to do it. Y'all just didn't want to do it because if you have a lot of created characters, this is going to take away from other stuff that y'all got planned. And that's why I think with a lot of companies, they don't want to give you the option to create a lot of created characters because you're going to take away from them trying to sell characters.
Yeah.
What do you think, Aaron?
I mean, it's a business at the end of the day. That's industry for you. They're gonna do stuff like that. So I'm not surprised about that aspect. Brian Mazik, though. Brian Mazik's everywhere.
Yeah, that's my guy for years, for decades. But I'm like, Dad, Brian Mazik, because he do Forbes. He's a writer.
He does Forbes. That's how I found out about him, was Forbes.
Yeah, from Forbes. And he used to have his own website. Brian, it was called Mazik's Unique Mazik. He used to have that. And he used to do like boxing commentary about certain things, like different sports. And he used to like basically basketball, baseball, and boxing. And to me, his boxing IQ is like second to none. And that's why I was hoping that he was going to be on the team, but I guess 2K got him first for the WWE because he liked WWE too.
Yeah, people been hating on that game.
Yeah, he's huge on WWE. But my thing is he's huge on WWE, but it's still lacking some of the stuff that I want. And and y'all be like, "Po, you a WWE fan?" Yeah, man, but not the way they got it now. I like back in the days when you could create factions and stuff. I don't know if you could still do that now because I ain't play the games no more. But when you could create factions and you could, different managers and stuff, that's what I was like in WWE's type stuff. I'm guessing you don't play WWE, not you or Leafy.
Oh no! I have. Hang on. I've got my copy. Where'd it go? I have WWE 13 right here on standby. Matter of fact, yeah. Hang on. Yeah, look
So
at this.
you ain't playing
Let's
nothing
see
up to date.
No. I don't play the new stuff. I play the old stuff. Look at this.
Okay.
Classic right here. Classic.
I
Now my
haven't played
PS3.
WWE since like SmackDown versus Raw. Like,
I don't think I have it either. I'm trying to remember. Do they
It's
got
been so
factions
long.
in it? Do that
Huh?
game have factions in it?
In
Oh, no.
2011? SVR 2011?
SmackDown versus Raw. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't play so
they
long
don't.
since I played that game.
Factions in it because I used to, that's my thing. I like creating stuff. That's the artistic, because I'm an artist, so I like creating characters and stuff. And I used to create factions, and the factions was actually interactive. Like they create their own story mode. That's why I be telling them, like when people be getting on me about stuff, I say I'm going by what they were doing back in the days. We should be having this stuff. What they were having, that the factions almost made their own story within your story. So why we should be like light years away from that. Even people like the people that don't like playing offline, it shouldn't be like, let me try this offline. It might be fun, but it's not, because they're not doing stuff to attract the online people. Just like they're not doing things for online to attract the offline people. But Steel City, they did something that attracted me to the online. In the beginning, what the game was in the beginning, when we first started playing, it attracted me to the online. I'm like, all right. I said, I'm about to clean up this. I said, I'm gonna keep the belt. I was happy and everything. Then I said, let me keep watching what people do. Because I won about 5 fights. And then I said, let me see what it is looking like right now. And I was looking at people, the way they're playing and the way the game was starting, and I ain't playing no more. I said, I ain't playing this game no more. I said, I ain't getting a headache, because it's to me, it's a difference between somebody passionate about something and somebody that's not. Give me a second, y'all. I'm at in the show too, because it's about 3 hours. Yes. Yeah, but I'm about to end the show. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what we're saying?
You were talking about the passion.
Oh yeah, with the online and offline, like they should create it so that you want to attract the offline people to the online and the online people to offline modes, if that's what they want to do. It should not be like this version is better than this version. No, each fan should have something that appeal to either or. I know some people, they still gonna be super biased, but it should appeal to either or, because you're going to you want the player base, because if the player base is there and you got like content you're trying to sell, both of them player bases going to buy the product, because you're playing them arenas, you're playing all that content is still going to go to that offline person buying it so they could use it. What you think?
Yeah, I can agree.
Yeah, I think I'm about to end the show. I know Leafy was like, he is getting comfortable. Nah, Leafy, I did 3 hours, man. I did 3 hours. I did
Man,
3 hours.
I was about ready to. I was just like sitting here, like, all right, we're getting to the flow. And now
Yeah, I
it's ended.
see you getting
Now it's ended.
comfortable. Yeah, been 3 hours. So I had crooks in and everything. 3 hours, that's good enough.
Nice.
I might jump back on later. I might, but I appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you, Leafy. Appreciate Crooks for coming in. That was very honorable.
Yep.
And yeah, until the next show, y'all. Peace.
Peace.